Hello, Love Wrestling. It's Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. And you know what that means. It's another new episode of Between Two Beards.
Start off with the biggest news of the week. The Rats lost!
But every night I'm making new best friends, and the only problem is we like having a good time. Forget yourself now.
If you've got the budget, I've got the time.
There he is.
Hey, boss!
There's the boss.
Hey!
The man with the finest beard on this screen.
Canadian men, boys, shut the hell up. Let me talk.
You see, the Rads are resourceful. When I got beef with somebody, I can find a way to talk to them.
Listen between two beers.
Getting down.
Hello, Love Wrestling. It is Thursday night. It is 8 p.m.
Yeah,
183 of these things, Pluggo.
I know.
Between...
This might be the saddest one we've ever done.
It's hard. It's a tough one. This has been a tough week.
Yeah.
Tough week.
Yeah.
Monday night, I think, drove a stake through most of our wrestling hearts here. The way that it was done, beautifully done. Listen, objectively, just beautifully well done. Just perfectly done.
Yeah.
The way it went down. But my God, huh? We'll get there. First and foremost, this is another new episode of Between Two Beers. Before we get into this, if you are watching on YouTube, I need you to do me a little bit of a favor. I need you to hit that thumbs up from me.
Yeah, you should do that.
We want to get as many. We're at 5 right now. How about we get to I haven't said again. How about
150? We need to get 150.
Oh, well, I mean, that would be incredible. 150 would be great. How about we call it 30? Can we get to 30 tonight? Tell your friends.
We need to get to 30, and we also need super chats and the swear jar for JPJ's potty mouth.
I did not swear. I held up.
Can I know it's been a tough week.
Can I tell you though? Today on firmly AEW, I did not make it 90 seconds before I dropped an F-bomb. Not even on purpose. I wasn't even angry. I didn't make it 90 seconds.
It doesn't shock me.
I didn't drop it. I didn't
He tried.
I didn't complete the word. I learned from this morning. That's what we call growth. Roman Reigns, take notes. That is what we call growth, Roman.
I've dropped quite a few swears this week. It's been a long week at the old
we have
Casa del PLUGGO. My heart's been shattered by the New Day, which we'll talk about. Our guest broke my heart.
Yep.
But she's graciously decided to crash the party to come on to talk about something that I couldn't talk about last night because we're not allowed to talk about things until they actually happen on air.
Ella, our pal, she said hello, pals, but our pal, Ella J, is in the chat.
Hi, Ella, what are you doing right now?
I know, I was going to say, she's usually not available on Thursdays. Otherwise, I'd say, get in here.
She's probably partying. Ella's one of them famous
listen, earlier today, I made a mistake, and I dropped an F-bomb 90 seconds into a show, and I almost dropped another F-bomb less than a minute into this show, but I learned. And like I said, that is called growth, something that Roman Reigns apparently doesn't know how to do.
She's here for superstar.
Oh, yeah, she knows.
Ella spent an entire year plus calling out Roman Reigns. You two and Ella? But who else? We'll bring her on. But before we do that, who else this week called out Roman Reigns and said the exact same thing you've been saying? You and Seth Rollins, buddy.
Me and Seth Rollins, great minds think alike.
I'm drinking a non-alcoholic Burn It Down IPA in honor of Seth Rollins.
That's the name of the IPA.
Business. That's actually what it's called. Burn It Down IPA.
All right. Nice.
Non-alcoholic beer for the win, baby.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I need an intervention, Ophelia, but I need something. I don't know what it is, but I
You
need
need to
something.
watch that potty mouth because we have a guest.
We do. Who knows? This could be the last time.
This could be.
Who knows? You're right.
I'd like to introduce her, but I have to defer to JPJ on this one.
Ella already needs a drink. We're 5 minutes in. Ella needs a drink already. I mean, I don't know.
Get yourself a non-alcoholic brewski.
Culp. I'm happy. Listen, no. I'm happy you're here. All right. Welcome in. I'm going to tell you something. Your quarterback stinks. Get rid of that guy.
Check this out, though.
Stinks.
I played Culp in the Beards League.
Yeah.
And he beat me.
Okay. Fair.
We're in another league together. And he is, if he beats me this week, he's in the playoffs. And I'm out of the playoffs. Granted, I think I'm still out either way. And I haven't paid attention much this year because I suck. But I made sure to specifically set my lineup this week to make sure.
Oh, I probably should do that because there's a game that starts in like.
But anyway,
the Thursdays mess me up, man. Anyway, continue. Without further ado,
the third. What up? What up? He says.
Hoosier, my man.
What up? A day of therapy for us all. We're gonna get into it, but let's bring Kimmy on.
Did you see his picture? Did you see his picture? Put that back up there.
Oh, I did not see the picture because I'm blind.
Oh, you know what?
That's sad. Kimmy's here.
Oh,
hi, Kimmy.
Hi. There was so much anger in like that intro. Like,
first of all, I'm not angry. Why do people think I'm angry?
Because you cursed. I got yelled at.
I did not complete the word.
It still counted. It was meant to come out.
It does not count. If YouTube counts that, I'm filing an appeal.
Filing
an appeal.
Yelled at for cursing, so I need to yell at you for basically doing the same thing. But hi, I'm here.
Hi, Kimmy. Kimmy's here. Crashing the party. She's on her retirement from podcasting
on my retirement tour. This is my first stop.
She's the John Cena of this stuff.
I don't think I'm
John Cena. She said.
Wow, that
She's
was
the John Cena.
I don't think I'm like.
Where would Kimmy rank in the podcasting lore? Is she up there with the John Cena, the upper echelons?
No way. I am.
But if you're here, smash the like button. Tell Kimmy hi. Drop a super chat if you want. We'll answer any questions. We'll say anything that you put in there respectfully, of course.
I'll yell at some people here, as I always do. It's kind of a gimmick. You know, I didn't yell at anyone at WrestleCade. We need to talk about this for a second. I was actually, this is very true.
Were you on your best behavior?
I was the calmest I have been at a con in 5 months, I was told.
That's good. That's a good thing. That's growth. You know what that is?
But I saw
growth.
I saw conflicting reports that you're a little troublemaker.
What Sting's opinion is, that's his opinion, and he could live with that. But I was on my best behavior. I treated him so well. That's how he introduced me to Darby Allin, by the way. He goes, have you met this troublemaker Kimmy, by the way, over here? And I was like, oh my God, Sting, why you do this to me? But yeah, I saw my bestie pal Sting. Very, very happy every time I get to see him. He's a good dude. Love that guy.
Now, can I simply say you've grown, Kimmy? JPJ has grown. The only growth I've done this week is through my stomach because I've eaten my feels, and I finally had to tap out last night on I said I can't do Thanksgiving food anymore. So
I mean, Thanksgiving's on Thursday. I mean, Tuesday's about the bit.
Yeah,
you can't go past Tuesday, otherwise you flirt with disaster.
Hey, well, I'm here. I'm alive.
Bless you.
Thank you. I thought I muted it in time. I was so pissed.
You did mute it. I saw the action, and I'm a good human.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to review Ring of Honor while I'm doing this. This is why I'm retiring.
Unbelievable. Like she's like, can I come on and crash the show to half pay attention? Unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
I'm here, unbelievable. Listen, you know what they're showing right now on Ring of Honor? They are showing Nigel McGuinness versus Namichi Marufuji from Final Battle 2008 when I was 7 years old.
Awesome.
What does this mean? I missed it. The CEO letters are back to haunt Love Wrestling from earlier?
What?
Oh, yeah. That's firmly AEW stuff. AEW stuff.
Sorry for the big inside secrets there, JPJ.
No. So
the way he said that, he was like, that's firmly AEW
stuff.
No.
Ellis says, let's be real. This show gets off topic anyways. Not that that's a bad thing, she says.
Yeah, we don't. We don't have. I mean, we have topics queued up, but if we don't talk
And
about
then
them, we've never
Lawrence
cared.
and Kimmy dropping names like the New Day drop Big E. Wow, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Listen,
We'll get there. What happened?
Wait a minute. Are you Big E in the scenario and you're about to drop us? Whoa.
no.
I don't know what just happened. Why we swap like that? My whole
I don't
screen
know.
went blank. What the hell happened there?
No.
Anyway,
I'm
we're
not
back.
the
We're
Big E.
back.
But you know who I met for the first time this weekend? I was so excited for this. Mina Shirakawa. I
Oh
worked
yeah.
with. Lovely
nice?
human.
Did
Yeah.
she come up to
Lovely.
you and say, "Do it to my face," like she did last
No.
night on Dynamite?
No, she was so nice, so happy to be there. It was her
Nice.
first ever signing in America.
Really,
Yeah.
like in general,
Yeah,
ever.
yeah,
That's awesome.
first wrestling convention by herself in
That's very
America.
cool.
Did she do well? Did she have a big contingent of people
Oh,
in her
Mina's
line?
over,
Yeah,
dude.
of
Mina's,
course.
Mina's
Everybody
over.
I
wants
just wonder.
Mina.
I don't
Well,
know
don't you
how.
watch AEW? Everybody wants Mina. Everyone in
do
North
watch
Carolina
AEW,
wanted
Kimmy.
Mina.
I
Everyone
watch-
watching the High Spots virtual wanted Mina. Everybody was about Mina. Come
Yeah.
on, Pluggo.
That's
I
what I.
was just asking. I should first
what I
time.
expected.
Did she do well? Was it a good time? I
Yes.
don't know.
It was
You
a
hear-
great time.
You hear horror stories all the time of people like going to these conventions and then no one shows up to their spots. Not wrestlers per se, but just in general.
We're all
like so-
not Virgil.
Wow.
What, see, see.
How dare you talk ill of the dead? How dare you talk ill of the dead like that? Unbelievable. The disrespect the youth has. The youth and the disrespect is just—it's uncanny.
This is JPJ's get off my lawn
I'm
moment
kidding. No,
tonight.
I'm kidding.
Wow.
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 No,
Rude.
no, that's fine. Well, hey,
Hey,
look at that.
I'm younger than JPJ,
You know?
so I'm taking that as a personal shot.
It's
as
true.
well.
That is true.
Are
That
you
is true.
really?
Yeah.
Ella? No.
Yeah, what
No.
the hell is
I
this?
would
Oh,
never-
Kimmy!
I would
Oh,
never-
wait, I got you, JPJ. Oh,
would-
Kimmy, you're leaving podcasting? So what?
Exactly. You had
So
a broken
what?
neck. So
So
what?
what?
You had a broken neck.
You
We're
mean
here to
I-
heal tonight. We're here to heal.
And
I was sitting there on my bed watching this happen, going, okay, Woods is going to kick him in the face any minute now. Big E comes out, saves the day, and they just drop my man like a bad habit. What the hell is happening in the world? I thought the Rizzler fixed everything, and now I'm just lost.
Wow, I had a clap back for you, but you know you
okay.
interrupted me,
You gonna
so
make it?
never
Are,
mind.
are we gonna get through this?
Well, now you have to say it because you dropped that. You got to say it. For me or for
Oh, me?
JPJ?
No, I had
yeah,
it for
you're-
both of you. You guys
What
are
the hell did
stuck,
I do?
You guys are stuck podcasting while I'm with the big stars, chilling, having the time of my life.
You know.
Okay.
You know.
That's okay. You know what? I picked this life.
You
It's all
did.
right.
You picked that life, and I'm picking my life, and I'm picking to retire. Just like Big E decided not to come back in time for his boys. He waited till
Wow.
the last possible second.
Whoa.
And now all of a sudden, do
Uh-oh.
you blame? I don't blame
Uh-oh.
Kofi and Xavier. Are you kidding?
Whoa.
I don't blame
We're
Uh-oh.
incoming.
You know, I
So-
would have done the same thing. To be fair, I would have done the same thing.
Well, I mean,
I mean,
that's how the Kimmy I know.
are you sure?
But no, I don't know. I know you a little bit. I would say I know you all right enough. But I would hope that I mean, you're dropping us like a bad habit. So I mean, maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe you are that type of person. Who knows? I don't know. But you just said you would do the same thing, Kimmy.
In my personal
Don't
life.
get angry at me because I'm doubling
In
down.
my
on it, all right?
personal life.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Why did I agree to come on here?
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Lawrence, I did
You
not
have-
approve of that. Lawrence, no. I did not approve of it.
I cannot
Uh,
even see the chat.
I didn't even
Are
approve of
people
this.
agreeing with me?
No.
No.
What do you mean no? How dare
Nobody's
they?
agreeing with you. Nobody's
How
agreeing with you.
rude.
Okay. What the hell are we starting with? Are we
The
starting with
New
this
Day,
New Day thing?
clearly.
We have to, right? We have to. Like
Yeah.
it's the big of all the if we're talking like the wrestling and the actual stuff on the wrestling shows, that was easily like the biggest thing that happened. Like that was just
Well, yeah. I
No,
mean,
it wasn't.
Saturday ruled.
Oh, we're gonna talk
Damn.
about Survivor Series. 'Cause
Damn.
We're gonna talk about Survivor Series because
Kimmy's out here just.
We gotta talk
Then-
about. Oh wait, no, we don't need to talk about Full Gear. We did that already. Never mind. Never
We
mind.
talked about Full Gear. We're going to talk about Survivor Series. I do want to talk a little Continental Classic. I do. I thought last night's Dynamite was really good. So we can dive into that a little bit. But we got to talk about the new. You got to start with the new.
I gotta ask how Kimmy's out here siding with Woods and Kingston here. Like, what the fuck?
Listen, okay? They were in such a rut. They were disagreeing like crazy.
Yeah, but how's that Big E's fault?
Because he didn't try to help him. He sat at home. He was on the
with a broken neck.
A text. You could communication goes multiple ways. You could text somebody. Hey guys, are you guys okay? Did he try to communicate? No. Did he try to do anything at all? Like a FaceTime, a Zoom, a tout, a Skype? No.
We don't know
that. A tout.
He just
those haven't existed since 2016. What are we talking about?
Brian Danielson.
What are we talking about?
Still exists to him. Okay, so if the American Dragon.
What are we talking about here?
I'm vouching for Xavier and Kofi. So again, Biggie didn't even try to do anything, and he tries to come in at the last possible second to be the hero. Sorry, it's giving attention. It's giving attention. The man
He has a broken neck. He's rehabbing. He's working.
But he's flown to like all the.
Look at Hoosier. Hoosier says, "I wouldn't either if my two team members weren't as successful since I left." Bums.
I mean, listen.
Is he wrong? Is Hoosier wrong? Is Hoosier wrong? How's the New Day been since Big E's been gone? Just
I
saying.
believe they won a tag championship in the time in between. I believe they won one. I could be wrong though, but I think they won once.
Maybe.
Someone wants.
I'm just saying. Look it. It was the 10-year anniversary of the New Day on Monday. They come out. They show a beautiful vignette. All three of them. The two of them come out. They're doing their thing. You notice they were dressed all in black and white, even though everything else was so colorful. They were all dressed in gray. Xavier Woods was wearing the suit that he wore on the original debut of the New Day. I don't know if it was the exact same one, but it was same design of suit.
How did you know that?
Because I'm a friggin' nerd who talks about pro wrestling on the airwaves, Kimmy.
This is why I'm retiring. Continue. Yes.
This is not why you're retiring. Yes, it is. I know the real reason. And I'm going to keep it quiet because I'm a goddamn good friend.
Oh, I think
I know the real reason.
Wow. I don't know nothing.
Oh, my God. Can I not yell that? I didn't do it.
This is the week that Lawrence is like, I'm just jumping on JPJ shows.
Hi.
I'm jumping on all of them.
Hi, Kimmy.
Make this quick. It's 17:40. You got 7 minutes. Make it quick.
I've got 42 minutes.
You got 7 minutes.
Lawrence show, Kimmy.
At 8:25, I'm booting your ass out of here.
I'm just gonna pop back up every few minutes.
Dare you? I am in everybody's circle of trust. I'm in Ophelia's circle of trust.
That means you're a good insider, JPJ.
It is. Maybe you know what? Since Scoops McGee, not here currently. But since I've heard through the grapevine that Scoops McGee is also retiring, maybe since I'm in the circles of trust and I'm a trust, maybe I could,
That just says an awful lot about me. I'm in no circles. Wow.
Listen, JPJ, there's different levels of Scoops McGee's. There's like a Scoops McGee 1, 2, and 3. I think you have to put an application.
If it's me, then I'm always I'm top bill.
You are not number one. I can tell you.
I am top billing. I am top billing. I am top billing everywhere I go, girl. Everywhere I go.
You may have to put an application to be Scoops McGee number 4, but you cannot be Scoops McGee.
Oh, Ella Jake saying number 3 is retired.
I don't think number 3 is retired. I think Ella's just saying things.
Okay, fair enough.
I just like how JPJ said he's top billing everywhere he goes. Like this ain't a fucking partnership.
You might have to pick it up.
I said everywhere I go. I'm right here. I'm right here. Oh my God. I'm just saying, if I'm in the building,
Kofi and Xavier are tearing the world apart.
Are they though? I think they're.
Yes, Kimmy.
Did you see Kofi's tweet where he's like, "It's a new day"? Like,
it is.
Yes, that was so great. Why are we not praising that?
While wearing a fur coat, despite being a vegan, the hypocrisy never ends with that man.
It's true. They show this lovely vignette. They come out. The crowd's going nuts. Of course, Ella, we all are, except Kimmy. Freaking probably sitting there eating popcorn, loving it. She was doing the Big E gif on our couch while she was watching it. Like, yeah, popcorn, man. Anyway,
I hate popcorn. I don't like popcorn. Yeah, I don't like popcorn.
It's not my favorite, but what? Who hates popcorn?
No. I don't like. I hate popcorn.
I don't think I've ever met a human being that's told me they
Kimmy
hated
is
popcorn before.
really on her like
Popcorn.
burn it to the ground. Too.
Do you like caramel corn, or like that type of like smart food cheese popcorn? Like you don't like you don't like any
I've
popcorn?
got this right next to me.
Yeah, there you go.
Popcorn
Again,
bad.
I like the kettle corn. I'm a big fan of the kettle corn, the salty and sweet. Don't you dare, Lawrence, eat snacks on my fucking screen. Do not. That is one of my pet peeves. Do not. I'm being serious.
This is very hot.
I'm being serious. I love you, Lawrence, but please do not eat
My
on my
God.
screen. Anyway, sorry. That's one of my pet
He's
peeves.
so feisty.
That's one of my
I
pet peeves.
know.
When I turn into a stream, if it's a watch along, that's different because you're there for a long time and you're doing things and things like that. But like, I've watched some streamers and they'll just be like, and again, eat your food, fine, whatever. But I'm just like, why
get
are you
hungry,
doing
bro.
that? Why are you doing that? Well, eat before you go live.
Some of us
Anyway.
don't have time.
What was that? What was that though? Yeah, was that Swiss? Is that hot chocolate popcorn?
Yeah.
Don't you dare eat it. But let's talk
Oh,
about
don't eat it. I just want to see
it. What the hell?
grizzled. Oh, I love kettle corn though. What's that? What's that? Is that? Oh, that's French. That's French down there. I thought those other things. It's French.
Yeah, mais éclaté au zébrure. The fuck is zébrure? Even I don't know what the fuck that is.
Hell, this is a
what I'm
2-hour
saying.
show.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
like-
eat if I want
Never
to.
I'm gonna
once
eat
in
if
my
I want-
life
that's
used the
fine.
word
I'm
Oh yeah,
zébrure.
we need a mediator. Your circle of trust brethren is losing his mind. You know how to
I'm
get
not
in here.
losing my mind. I am fine. So,
Lawrence, did you eat this popcorn?
Sorry?
No,
I thought you
Just-
said food.
I was just shipping. No,
Anyway.
but my thing is, everyone. This story has been being told for the last couple months. Everyone's like, "Oh, Xavier Woods is going to turn on Kofi." I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was leaning into it going into Monday, and I was like, "I think Kofi maybe turns on Xavier," and they kind of swerve us, but they swerved us a completely different way because Big E does make his triumphant return, which was emotional, and it was great to see him. And he got a good ovation, and you could tell he was moved by it. And he had a great speech talking about how much they meant to people in the 10 years and how much they meant to him. And I don't know if anybody had the time or if they read that Players Tribune article that he had released earlier in the day on Monday. If you haven't, go read it. It
I don't
is
know how to read.
beautiful.
Is there an audio version?
It is.
What the hell you mean you don't know how to read? And you're a journalist? How the hell does that work?
I don't think Pluggo has ever considered referred to himself as a journalist.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Pluggo has
100%.
never once referred to himself as a journalist. Neither have I, but I'm certain Pluggo has not.
No.
I'm certain Pluggo has not. So if you haven't had the time to read that, at some point read it. It's like a beautiful, beautiful piece. But he comes out, he's talking about the New Day and everything they've done and all this stuff. And Xavier Woods.
I have a really
goes-
good editor.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. Xavier Woods kind of shoots back at him and he says, "Why now?" Basically, why now? Now you're going to come back? This whole time, kind of what Kimmy was saying.
Hold up.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, you think Biggie, what we think is Kofi is going to be like, "Whoa, Woods, like take it easy." So Big E is kind of like, "What the hell's going on here?" And then Kofi doubles down with Woods. And he goes, "Yeah, you left us, E." Whoa. And then he's like, and then Big E's like, "I had a broken neck." And then Kofi with the line that obviously you kind of dug into earlier, Pluggo. But Kofi goes, "Yeah, so you had a broken neck. So what?
Also, I've never considered myself a content creator either, Philly. I appreciate it.
So what?" And then he goes, "Stone Cold Steve Austin had a broken neck. He still came to work. Kurt Angle had a broken neck. He still came to work.
He's still coming to work.
Edge had a broken neck after 9 years, but he still came back to work after 9 years. Big E's been gone less than 2. All right, or 2, whatever. But like, they start doing that, and then it turns out that Big E becomes the catalyst for Kofi and Woods being on the same page, and they turn heel. They break all of our hearts, but they break Big E's heart.
Not Kimmy's heart.
He refuses to leave. He's like, "Is this how it's really going to be?" He goes in for a hug, and Kofi gives him the, "Nah, man.
We also forgot that he offered to be their manager.
He did. He said he was going to come back every week and be their
I
manager.
got so excited.
Well, and I do
Crowd
want to talk
was
about.
like, oh my
Oh my
god!
God.
And
I
then
do
it
want
was
to talk about this on the other end of it too, because I think it was done on purpose of why Big E and Xavier Woods both mentioned him being medically cleared at some point. Because Big E said, until I am medically cleared, I'm going to come back. I'm going to root you on. I'm going to be your manager. And then later on, Xavier Woods was like, let's stop fooling these people. You're never going to be medically cleared. And to me, that tells me that he is going to be medically cleared at some point, because I don't think they would have done that if they knew that he was never going to be medically cleared. So again, I don't think I'm not going to put a timeline on it. I'm not going to go crazy, but the fact that they discussed it, I think that has to be a sense of optimism a little bit when it comes to that. But damn, it broke my heart. I'm still not over it.
It should be noted, these two guys don't know how twins work, but suddenly know how neck operations and how broken necks work perfectly. Wow. You don't know how the Usos work, and you work with them. My God. This is the state of America right there. We're just going to offer medical opinions on Big E and why he's not back yet.
I hope Xavier Woods' controller gets stick drift.
Wow.
Can
Have
you
you ever had
imagine
that
better
happen to you?
gamer
It's
than he is?
Sucks.
Devastating.
Xavier Woods, trash at Tekken. You're trash. All those hours on planes playing Tekken. You're
Team
trash.
Kenny Omega, Woods. We're Team Kenny.
You lost to the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega a few years ago. We all remember that.
Yeah,
It's true.
never forget.
It's true. But man, look at, obviously we all have certain feelings about, but the segment was perfectly done. I mean, it was a brilliant segment. It was a brilliant segment.
Nope, sucked. Hated all of it. Every second of it.
One of the best
don't say
segments WWE's done the whole year.
I 100%. I thought that Raw in general was one of the best Raws of that Raw from top to bottom was awesome. That was an awesome Raw. But yeah, I agree with you, Kimmy. I thought that was one of the best segments they've done all year. I think this New Day story, even with the pivot from when the Odyssey Jones stuff happened to this, I think it's been one of the better stories they've told all year. I think it's been pretty perfectly done almost at every aspect of it. But that was heartbreaking, huh? How heartbreaking was that? That was as brutal as it gets, except if you're Kimmy. But
listen, I'm just saying.
Does anyone in the chat agree with Kimmy?
The heels are people too, and sometimes in real life, the heels are the nicest people you meet along the way.
What?
Fair.
That is 100% the truth.
Yeah, that's fine.
Big E
But
is
guess
the
what?
saint. Big E is a saint.
Yeah, Big E is a
Sweetheart.
in every
Stepped up when his
aspect.
friends wanted him. Listen, as someone with abandonment issues, I know.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Stop right there. Where was Xavier and Kofi in Cleveland when we were packing meals for the homeless? Big E was there sweating, putting in the work with a broken freaking neck. We were side by side. I got receipts with that man. Where were you, Woods? Where were you, Kofi? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Not doing nothing.
And for the record, they weren't on that card either.
Oh,
So but
Lauren,
Big E was there.
Tell her about her. Did she just flip me off subtly?
No, I went like this. Whoa. Now you're
Suddenly put
making
me off. What just happened? Did she suddenly put me off?
Lawrence, as our legal counsel, let our agent know what's going on here.
Who's
I'll
the
say
legal
this.
counsel?
Lawrence is our lawyer.
Oh, hi. Okay, let's have a conversation,
No.
bud.
Yep. I'll say this. Xavier and Kofi abandoned E.
Yeah.
E suffered the most traumatic injury of his life, was left, had to pick up the piece of his life, can no longer go to work, lost his friends, didn't know what his future was. And these two are complaining that he couldn't come back early enough to somewhere that like is traumatic and hard to go back to a workplace you no longer have a place in anymore, that you're still trying to find a place in when you were one of the biggest stars in the company. And now you're complaining that he didn't come back quick enough for you. It's hard to come back and just be a manager. He had to get figured out for himself. He needed to see that they were falling apart without him, to be the final trigger, to face his demons, to see that, like, wow, I've got to face my own sadness and come back to this after losing it all. And like these two guys attack him for it, attack him when he's trying to help him at their lowest point. He was reaching a hand out to them. like they said, as he was going over the cliff. It's better late than never, Xavier. Jesus God.
Yeah.
Better late than never.
Listen,
I'm sorry.
Kimmy.
In the
Listen,
beginning of
Kimmy.
this episode, we saw
Go ahead.
both of them enter the arena, not even together. We saw them enter completely separate. It was
Brothers
over for
fight.
them.
Brothers fight sometimes.
You know what? I heard that a
happens.
lot this past weekend, and I'm getting PTSD from why I had to hear that this weekend. So,
But listen, when you leave the podcasting game, and then our ratings dip to an all-time low, and then you come on back through, we're not here. Oh, you know what I mean? We're gonna be like, whoa, where were you at our low point, Kimmy? We're out here struggling. You're walking me back with open arms.
you make it like
That would be really crappy of us to be like, oh, Kimmy, get out of here. You're a bum. No, we wouldn't do that because we're nice people. Unlike Xavier and Kofi, who are mean people.
I think they had a reason. Leave them alone. Listen, with their new bonded unity, when they finally win the tag team championships and then bring the tag team division back, you know who you'll be thanking? Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. So clip this, and then wait till they win, and then wait till the tag team division is like a thing again in WWE, and then play this exact clip, and then we're gonna be like, thank you so much.
Yeah, I talked about that on Firmly WWE. I said one thing, as you know, as heartbreaking and as brutal as that segment was, the New Day back in the tag team division and being a focal point of the tag team division again, even though it's as heels, that is a jolt in the tag team division because the tag team division has been kind of shitty, especially on Raw.
Once again, won't win a singles title. Congratulations.
Yeah,
all to turn on E and still not win a singles title.
Good job.
Cyclical, homie. Right back where you left off.
Yeah, that was
You know what? Now I don't feel so bad about you getting jobbed out to Brock Lesnar in 8 seconds. Kofi, I don't feel so bad now.
Don't give him 2 extra seconds. 6 seconds, not 8 seconds.
Damn.
He don't deserve 2 extra seconds after that shit. He don't deserve 2 extra seconds at all.
And I will say this. I will say the only thing I'm intrigued about is how bad we're gonna flame their new entrance, their new name, and all that fun stuff.
I don't think they're getting a new name. I don't think they're gonna change the name. I do think they get a new entrance song. I don't think they're going to change the name. No, I don't. I think they're going to be the New Day still.
I ain't calling
but
New Day. Never. Not even if there's a fire.
I do think they will change the entrance. I do think they'll change the way they look. They'll probably be dressing them, I would guess, black. They're not going to be. It's not going to be this New Day, but I think they'll keep the name, but they'll change everything else. I think. So, on the flip side of that, do we think that maybe because of how everything went down on Monday, there is optimism within WWE, or is there optimism between any of us on this screen that maybe Big E could or might be back? Because they definitely did not shy away from talking about him being medically cleared. It happened multiple times, once in the positive and once in the negative. Do we think that means good things could be ahead, or do you think they just were like, hey, let's just take a real topic and really drive it home for the emotionalness of this segment? Like, what do you guys think?
Yes.
Oh
the
my God.
second one.
Guys, first and foremost, Fatu's in the chat. I love you, Solo!
Love you, Jacob Fatu! Not so much Solo, but hi, Jacob Fatu. How are you? Welcome to the chat. Hell of a showing on Saturday night, sir.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Hopefully,
pretty good.
I
will say yes to your question because
you stole the leg.
Because I want him to come back, but I don't want him to come back. If you know what I mean, like if it's, I think that they had to bring it up because it's the biggest elephant in the room, and you can't have a New Day celebration without him. And if you really want the New Day to like get over, Big E's got to be the optimistic when I get cleared, and Xavier's got to say some shit like "You ain't ever getting cleared," and I'm sure. If that's the case, they discussed it. So he says yes. Jacob Fatu says yes.
I think that was to us doing this.
Doesn't matter.
He's appreciative.
Can I go?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh no.
Nobody raises their hand on the show, Kimmy.
I do. I
that?
always do. Okay. Anyway, maybe when I make my second media run, I'll stop raising my hand. I think you can never say.
Her comeback.
All right, yeah, of course. You have to plan the retirement to get the comeback pop. She's all about the pops. That's all
10
she's here
years.
for.
10 years later.
She's all for that.
You gotta
She's just
sell
here
that
for the
retirement merch.
She's just here for the high of the pop. She don't care about the substance. She just wants the pop.
3 months
Just
later,
gouging us for
I'm back,
t-shirts.
bitches. I'm back. Welcome me with open arms, bitches. I'm back.
I know you've
Gonna
all
be
missed
Kimmy.
me. Oh my god.
That's gonna be Kimmy.
No. So I'm gonna say never, obviously, because this is wrestling and we have seen 3, especially the last couple of years, 3 major neck injuries, and all 3 of them, and I'm talking about Brian, Copeland, and Saraya, they've all came back. So we can never say never. But I think with Big E, I think, it took all 3 of them really going to another company to get cleared, kind of.
That's fair.
So, I mean, unless Big E's gonna go the all elite route,
I doubt it. I doubt it.
I think his time is done in the in ring for WWE.
You think so?
I think so. Yes.
Like I think they still don't know yet.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they're planning on like they might be optimistic about it, but I don't think they know yet. Just like Biggie, like the Biggie doesn't know yet either. Like obviously, but yeah, I think they need to bring him in for this to be the catalyst of their turn.
Yeah.
They needed he had to be there. It wouldn't have worked any other way for both of them to turn and for the fans to buy it this much. He had to be there. He had to be the reason why they turned. That's why it works. Like, because everyone would still be asking for E, even like if they turned on somebody else or just jumped another baby face. Or
right.
I agree. Jump Jay.
You've been doing it for 10 years. Yeah, so you got to say that. Well, like last week. Well, last week they said all the things that we wanted them to say when they were about to fight each other backstage. So it's like these guys are friends. They're smart to the business. They know what they're doing. They're like, you know what? Let's just lay it all, because had they not brought any of that his neck or medical, it wouldn't have hit the same.
Yeah.
Right? Like it just wouldn't hit the same if they didn't hit us in a personal, like, oh my God, there's a chance Big E will never come back. And he was offering to come back on a weekly basis to help him, and they said no. And I'm still not over it.
Yeah. No,
Kimmy, I can't believe you're so cold-hearted, Kimmy.
What is why is it always me?
Because you said you were Team Wood. What are you talking about?
I don't know how in this
I just said
I don't know how this is on me.
I don't know how in this scenario you can act like that we're ganging up on you when you said that you thought that Woods and Kofi did the right thing.
We value a difference of
opinion. They did. Yes, they did. You all are too invested with this storyline. Everyone's gonna be fine. We all need to take a deep breath. I know this is a therapy episode of Between Two Bears. We all need to take a breath. We're all gonna be okay. Relax. But I know times are stressful. It's the holiday season. But just think, Christmas is in like
Mrs.
3
Pluggo's
weeks.
yelling at you to be quiet.
Yeah, be quiet, Pluggo. Unbelievable. But
I
it's
miss
Christmas
Pluggo.
time.
Hope
There's
you
other
feel better,
things.
honey. Don't
Other
open
things
any
to look
Christmas
forward to.
presents. I got you.
Yo, I already opened one.
Of one of Mrs. Pluggo's Christmas presents.
No,
Enjoy.
my Christmas present.
Before we answer Hoosiers' question, he's got a good question in the chat. I wanted to pitch this to the group. Kimmy's saying we're too invested in this New Day story. They've been at this for 10 years. Name another tag team, or hell, just a tag team, probably, or group that you're just like this, like we just universally loved. Like I don't remember anybody shitting on the New Day, maybe early on, but like we got so invested in these 3 and they worked so well together, and now they're not together, and I don't know where we're going. So like name another team that would get you this emotional if they split up.
I mean, I don't think anybody's had a run like they've had.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's a long time. I mean,
it's like the Usos maybe, but that didn't hit the same.
I thought the Shield breakup was pretty giant. That was
which
kind of
one?
Giant one. No, the
first
main one.
The first one? Okay.
Yeah,
just checking.
I thought that breakup was. I thought that was pretty sizable. The way that happened and emotional. That one guy yelling, "No!" He's the only guy you can hear in the whole arena. No! As Seth is wheeled him back to chair. I thought, but again, the Shield at that point were baby faces. But for the first 2 years that they were around, they were heels and not liked. So when you say like the New Day was pretty universally, you didn't meet many people that didn't dig the New Day. You know what I mean? So. That's hard. I don't know if there is anybody that you can actually comp.
This is why we love this shit.
I think that's why at the end of the day, and they're considered to be by many, including WWE, the greatest tag team of all time. I believe they've released countdowns, and they've been number one. I do have some quotes. An interview just dropped with Kofi Kingston. He was on the Battleground podcast, and I got some sizable quotes here. So this is what Kofi said. Kofi said that he was disgusted with fans who instead wanted to see him break up with Woods. Quote, "The number of people that wanted me and Woods to turn on each other is disgusting because we have done nothing but embody just what the prototypical vision of brotherhood is supposed to be like. Friendship. There has never been a team that has stayed together as long as we have. So the fact that people wanted to see that come to an end is kind of nauseating because at the end of the day, we're doing this for the people, trying to provide a shining example of what brotherhood is supposed to be like, what friendship is supposed to be like, what selflessness is supposed to be like." Then, that's the end of the first quote. It then says, Kingston then doubled down on his criticism of Big E. Another quote. "Myself, Woods, and E, we always had an agreement. Our group has always been about we before me, no matter what. There was no asterisk there like, oh, we before me, except in the event that I have a neck injury. Then I can choose myself over the group. That's not what we said. We sacrificed time with our families for the group. We put the group over our families, and I just missed a birthday a couple days ago. I've missed a lot of things because I'm out there making the group's name as big as it can possibly be. That's the sacrifice that we made. You always put the group over everything. That's what the deal is. So yes, Big E broke his neck, but like I said, so what? You know what I mean?
Lawrence, you better never get sick.
He says that doesn't qualify as something that gives you an asterisk to put yourself over the group. And people don't want to hear that, but that's where our angst comes from.
First of all, nobody wanted Woods and Xavier to turn on each other, Kofi. We didn't want that. We've all been dreading it. But Hoosier says, real quick, he says, here's my question for y'all. Theoretically, if they didn't bring E to the segment, how does the segment end up going? The same, way different. What y'all thought? My initial thought is it would have been Woods turning on Kofi, and everybody would have sat there and went, predictable. They've been telling the story for months. It's sad, but not gut-wrenching.
Yeah, I think the reason why everybody has this reaction except Kimmy is because it's so emotional, because we are, and it had to go that way. It had to go that way, because any other way, it still could have been done well, but we would have had that reaction of like, oh yeah, all right. Yeah, they've been building that. That was cool, but yeah. But this is like, man, it's all people have been talking about and thinking about for 3 days now. And like Ella said earlier in the chat, I'm still not over it. We're still not over it. Kimmy was rooting it on. Yeah, Kimmy was rooting it on the couch.
Kimmy slept well that night.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you a funny story. So my junior year of high school, I was having a conversation with some of my track teammates and my coach, and we were talking about movies that we've cried over. And I was like, I've like never cried over a movie, right? And everyone was like, "Do you have a soul? Like, are you okay?" No. I was like, "Why do I need to cry over a movie? Like it's like script. Hello, it's a script." And he's like, "Well, I'm sure you've cried over wrestling." And I'm like,
"Wow,
no.
Well, Dan's on Kimmy's side. Dan's
in the house. Dang!
I like how everyone just interrupted my story. Wow.
Sorry. Sorry.
That guy was siding with him. I'm sorry. The guy was siding with. Oh, Kimmy left. Anyway, no. Well, how have you never? I'm agree with Ella. I cry at commercials. So I'm a huge commercials. I've cried at commercials before. Don't judge me. Don't judge me.
What commercials?
You don't know what I've been through. I don't know.
Like,
I don't know. I can't think of them right now, but I have gotten emotional. Sad commercials, people dying and shit.
I cried at Clerks 3 this weekend. Continue.
I haven't seen Clerks. I could have a laundry list of movies.
Is a rough watch
that I have cried at. A laundry list in the theater, like hand over Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3. When Andy's giving away his toys, brother, I was inconsolable. I had to turn my face away from the people I was with because I was losing my shit. Anyway, brother.
That sad.
Yes, it was. He gave away his toys since childhood, Jimmy.
I watched the movie. Yes, I was in the movie theater. Actually,
you don't know what? That is sad.
All the toys accepted their death. They were holding hands.
I was more upset about Andy giving them away. I didn't care about them dying. But
Part of growing up.
didn't get overly. You telling me that you didn't cry it up?
No.
You didn't cry it up.
Nope.
Are you kidding me?
We built a life together, and she died within the first 10 minutes of the damn movie.
But then he was like a super dick to that kid for the next 80 minutes.
Well, he was an old curmudgeon.
No, I know. I'm just saying. Saying.
Well, any movie, fair enough. Any movie with dogs.
I've never seen Marley and Me, so no, I never cried because I've never seen
never watching Marley and Me because I know that's going to end.
Most movies don't end a certain way, and it's usually not in a fun time. But like, you ever seen Coco?
I don't know.
I've seen Coco. I watched it.
You didn't cry at the end of Coco?
No.
Oh my. What is going on here? Anyway, I cried at a ton of movies. I cried at movies you wouldn't think I would cry at, though. That's the thing. But anyway,
one of my favorite games to play in life is like what Mrs. Pluggo. She's a crybaby sometimes, and she'll just she'll go, "Why am I crying right now?" And I go, "I don't know. You're married to me. I don't know."
Sure.
She's realizing what a mistake she made during this commercial for like tires. I don't know.
Well, we had Ella and Hoosier basically said the same thing. They were like, you're telling me you never gotten emotional at those abandoned dog, like the pet commercials?
No,
Arms of an Angel.
I've never had a pet, so what am I going to get emotional over? I've never had a dog in my life.
Saying Kimmy is clearly a robot.
What do you mean I'm clearly a robot?
Clearly a robot. Yeah. No emotions. Just an emotionless being.
I'm leaving podcast. Data is
serial killer. She's leaving podcasting to go do her serial killings.
Are you what Will Smith?
There happens to be a murder nearby. I wonder how this keeps happening.
In the same podcast, Kimmy is like, yeah, I've never cried at a movie or TV show or commercial. And you know what? Those two guys turning on their lifelong friend, they should have. They should have. They got what they deserve. I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to cry about it. Unbelievable.
Listen, you can only have one retirement tour. Am I right, guys?
No.
No, that's not.
Have you paid attention to sports or anything? You can have as many as you want.
I can announce that I'm retiring right now and show up next week like Kevin Owens did that one time.
Yeah. This has nothing to do with it, but have you ever heard the Larry David? They did this on Seinfeld, but when Larry David was on SNL, he quit. He quit SNL. Like he just quit.
Loudly quit. Like made a big thing of it. Like legitimately, yes. I'm not coming back. I'm pissed off. Nothing's getting on the air.
And then he realized after he did that it was a mistake and he shouldn't have done that. So he just showed up to work the next day like nothing ever happened.
He goes. So in the Seinfeld episode, he's like, I like sports. Maybe I can get into
he had George
broadcasting.
Yeah. But like that's a real story. That really happened to Larry David on SNL, and then he turned it into that story on Seinfeld with George. That is one of the more hilarious stories I've ever heard. He just openly, I'm out of here, I'm out, and then he's like, shit, I shouldn't have done that. He just shows up to try to pretend that it didn't happen. Tremendous, good stuff. Anyway. Dan says, I made a Spotify playlist of songs to play to try to get my wife to unconsciously apologize to me after an argument. I usually just end up crying from the songs.
Crying from songs?
You ever heard Christmas Shoes?
No.
What Christmas Shoes?
Fred Jones Part 2 by Ben Folds.
No.
That one's an overtly sad song.
Everybody Hurts by REM. It's a good one.
No.
It's the Christmas season, if you celebrate.
Yes.
It's the holiday season.
Yeah.
Go, not right now. Yes.
Obviously.
Dan has it. Sir, I want to buy these shoes. You go listen to Christmas Shoes and you tell me that you did maybe not cry, but that you didn't feel anything. And maybe Ophelia is correct. You might be a robot.
It's a song.
But it's a story in a song, dude.
What? Okay, all right. This is therapy. Let's not attack Kimmy. Let's ask her what does get you emotional.
Yeah, what
Kimmy?
Does get you emotional?
What gets those tear ducts working?
Yeah. Have you ever cried?
Yeah. When's the last time you had a really good cry?
I have no idea. That's a great question.
We have found the in real life term.
I'm telling you, she's the con killer. There's going to be emotion. When a victim gets away is the only time I've cried. We're going to be so many true crime podcasts based on Kimmy and this appearance.
I'm trying to think. I feel like the last time I cried was probably right before WrestleCon because I psyched myself out because I was really nervous because I had a lot of things on the line.
But that okay, so that was a stress cry.
Yeah. It's the only
Have you
time
ever like when was the last time like okay no that counts.
You ugly bellow cried.
Like, when was the last time you like emotionally were like I'm breaking down. I'm breaking
years.
down.
It's been years.
You're breaking down.
So Survivor Series was dope.
We're gonna talk about Survivor Series. We'll talk about Survivor Series.
Years. I didn't watch Survivor Series, so I'm just gonna play along.
What the heck, Kimmy?
I'm sorry, Mina Shirakawa.
No, you were at WrestleCade. No, you were at WrestleCade. Yeah, you were at WrestleCade.
Needed my attention. They were a little bit more important.
That's fair. I forgot. You were at WrestleCade.
This just in, and not a surprise to anybody that has watched this show for 183 episodes. Kimmy's the toughest son of a bitch on the screen.
Okay.
No surprise to our fans, but anybody that might stumble across this,
you've never cried at like a dog reacting to someone coming home from the military.
No.
You've never seen those videos or anything like that?
I have. I've
like,
just
oh
never
my
cried.
God, look at how happy
No.
that dog is. Nobody is ever going to be that happy about me ever. You never cried like that?
No.
I literally like mentioned the movie Life is Beautiful. Then I started thinking of the plot. And I made myself sad.
That is one of the
I
all-time
literally
great.
made myself sad thinking about the plot.
That is one of the all-time great movies. Life
Never
is Beautiful.
seen it.
One of the all-time great movies, but it is sad as all hell.
Yeah, it is a hard watch. It basically it's a man who tries to like
don't spoil it.
I'm not going to spoil it, but they're in a concentration camp.
Yes,
and he's got his son with him, and he has to like pretend he's making a whole game of it, so his son doesn't realize where they are. So he's pretending everyone's their friends, and he's making like it's a fun thing the entire time. So he's like
obviously it takes place like Lauren said. It takes place in World War II time. He's an Italian man. He's got a little kid, probably 5 or 6, like a little kid.
Yeah,
and like Lauren says, he's trying the whole time, even though all the soldiers and all this is going on, he is pretending it's a show or it's like a thing for his kid, so his kid doesn't understand the gravity of what's about to happen. And then it kind of goes from there. But that movie is excellent. It's in subtitles. You got to read it. So Pluggo, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but you got to read it. But it is tremendous. It is truly a tremendous. He won an Oscar for that out of nowhere. He won the Best Actor Oscar.
Yeah,
and it was a surprise. And he was walking on the seats and shit. Yeah. He was doing all crazy stuff.
Our boy Dan, Kimmy doesn't cry. In the words of Zig Dice, we got
over my own depression and anxiety.
Dan. I sent Dan the link to the show if he wants to come on and explain himself.
Let's take it easy. Let's take it
easy. Listen. I'm used to holding a lot of stuff in, so like, why,
Fair. Some people are that way.
Some people are rock solid. Some are big blubbering.
I don't hold anything in at all. And if you know me, you know that is true. Anger, sadness.
The only thing I hold in is calories.
Fair. Ella says that it's fair, Kimmy, but she wishes some of us wish we could. But I can't.
Maybe that's why I'm depressed all the time.
Probably. I'm not gonna act like I'm a doctor. I'm not gonna act. Well, farts are hilarious.
I don't hold those in. I let them out.
Yeah, no. Farts are always funny. They will always.
It's so bad. We don't need to go down this rabbit hole, but I'll just say it's so bad around here that even when I don't fart, I get blamed for it. I get blamed for it.
Listen,
I was just sitting there.
I grew up fat, so any room that I was in, if anybody popped one off, I was automatically getting blamed because I was the fat kid. So that's just one of the natures.
Or is this Ella telling me that she cries at the idea of me farting because she said she cries at random?
No, I don't think that's it at all. Actually, I don't think that is it at all. If I had to guess, I do not think that's
what Ella cry.
I do not think that's what Ella meant. If I had to put my finger on it,
he's just in gastrointestinal distress all the time.
Pluggo's gas things make me so upset. How can I go on? Orange.
Apple. The apples make me cry.
Yeah, bananas. Anyway, so I don't know what the hell that meant. What does that mean?
Apple.
What kind of comment is that? What does that mean? Now they're doing emojis. What does this mean? What does this mean?
This is party. What does this mean? Bonus.
Party, dude. I like apples. I like turtles.
I only like apple slices.
For fuck's sake, Kimmy, what are we doing? What do you think apple slices come from?
No, I know. I just don't like eating from like a whole apple. I only like eating apple slices.
I can
Kimmy
agree with
is
I can't eat
Kimmy
fruit
is
with
such.
elaborate.
She's like, you will cut
I'm
that.
weird.
damn
I'm
apple."
very weird with fruit.
What do you mean you're very? What does that mean?
Yeah, what is
I
that?
don't know
You
like
gotta
with fruit. Like, I
explain.
don't like.
You can't just say a statement like you're very weird with
Like,
fruit
I
and leave it
legitimately can't-
undescribed.
It's more like a texture thing. Like melons, I can't do. I just gag. Like
Well,
I can only
listen.
I can only eat like apples. Like at this point, I can only eat apples like if they're in a thing, like in a pie or in a cake.
No,
In-
it's bad.
Here's
Only
my thing.
apple slices. Yes, yes, JPJ.
Oh, Game Changer. Yeah, we like GCW. We like GCW. We're going to be talking a little GCW here in a sec.
Oh yeah, how their dude came on a my show challenging for my
Yeah.
title. You out of your mind, Matt
Yeah.
Cardona? You think you're gonna come into my house just because
I need everyone.
your
I need
event
everyone.
at the Hammerstein Ballroom a month later can't draw? So you want to try to draw off of our success for Ring of Honor? Whew.
Wow.
She didn't even
Now we
wait.
just say things.
It's just like, bro, why? Don't be like that. Don't be like that. I need
Where am I
honest
telling
answers.
lies?
Did you guys know this?
I knew that the
What?
eggplant was an emoji.
Fair enough.
I didn't realize that was a thing. Is that a real
You
thing?
know-
No, I'm kidding, of course.
You know, I always have a good time when I'm here, but sometimes I show up here and I go, "What the hell are we doing? What the hell are we doing?" You know, am I right?
Are
Am I right?
bored?
No, I'm having a great time. I'm having a great time. I had to go on a 30-minute soliloquy today during Firmly AEW because we had some asshats in the chat. So you know,
That's a big word.
That's a
for Kimmy.
big word.
yeah, I have a good vocabulary.
Does that start with an S?
Yeah,
It does.
SIL. It's SILOLOQUUEY or
If that-
QU something Y soliloquy, something like that. I don't think it goes straight to QUY. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's
What
right.
does that mean?
It's a fancy word for like I don't know.
You had to set some
Soliloquy.
people straight.
It's like a how do I spell it?
Kind
I
of
don't
like how
know.
Effie had
All
to
right.
set it
So
straight with Tony
so-
Khan.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
Matt
that worked out
Cardona
well
shows
for
up on
him.
Tony
Yeah, there you go.
Khan's show.
Yeah, it means monologue basically. That's what it means.
Oh, God.
You guys are
Uh,
smart.
Yeah. Listen.
I'm dumb.
Okay. Well, jeez.
I mean, you did
Have some
side.
confidence
You
in
did
yourself.
side with Woods and Kingston.
That is true. That was not smart. That was not smart. Decision by you. Yeah.
It was
That is true.
me.
That is. Look at everyone's entitled to their own opinion,
Yeah.
but that was not a smart.
The
one.
right
That was not a
one.
smart one right there. No, maybe.
Justice
Just because it's-
for Xavier
Just because
Woods
it's right.
and Kofi
Just
Kingston.
because it's right. Don't mean it's smart. Don't mean it's smart. Yeah. But anyway, that's how you spell it. It is QUY. Damn.
That's a
All right.
little
Anyway.
It's a little letters for Kimmy.
Yeah. But anyway, we found out that I have a decent vocabulary tonight. That's what we did.
Yay!
All right. Anything to add else to the New Day discussion before we move on? Because we do need to talk some Survivor Series, a little bit of AEW. I do want to talk the Ring of Honor, the person who is challenging for the Ring of Honor title. We just found out is one Matt Cardona of Game Changer. Well, he's an independent, but of Game Changer Wrestling. GC Dub, independent Matt Cardona, who we love here. Anything
last
else?
year's Beardy Award winner for Independent Wrestler of the Year.
He
We're still
was
waiting on our
the
speech.
Beardy Award winner. There it is. There's the graphic. It's happening. It's happening. So, anybody
what you
else have
screenshot.
anything? Why? You don't like Cardona? Cardona's a man.
I don't want this match. I do not need a non-Ring of Honor wrestler to challenge my heavyweight title on the biggest show of the year. I'm sorry. I have a problem with that.
Go on.
Okay.
Yeah, we're moving on. We're
That's
transitioning.
why you're here.
All right.
That's what you,
Let me
you
tell you
asked
about-
for this.
Let me tell you about these actions last night. I'm about to go to sleep. I'm watching SRS's AEW Dynamite review on Fightful, like a good friend I am. All of a sudden, I get a DM from Jeremy Lambert. I go, oh no, this isn't good. He's like, do you know? I'm like, do I know what? He goes, who Chris Jericho was facing a final battle? And I'm like, well, I heard a rumor it was so-and-so. And he goes, yeah, it's not that person. And I go, so who is it? He goes, I'm so sorry, Kimmy. And I go, so who is it? He's like, it's Matt Cardona. I was like, huh? I'm like, what? I'm like, no. Like, this is a joke. And like all my Twitter timeline now, everyone's like, look, Kimmy. I go, am I in a dream? I'm like, I am in a fever pitch dream. So like I said, Sean was on the air. I text Sean. I go, sir, what is this? He's like, "Oh my god, this match is gonna be so cool." I go,
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. I feel like Sean did. I'm like,
like,
this is gonna
Hey,
rule.
hey, Lawrence, could you do me a favor while you're over there? Could you pick up all the names Kimmy dropped?
I know, literally, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
I'm like,
Can we have a
cool.
conversation where we're not mentioning other people? God Almighty, for the love of God.
I'm like, cool for who? He goes, "You'll get to see a good match in person." I'm like, "That's
Yeah.
not the point." So here is my that would have been really funny if that was Sean text me.
Well, can I add? Would you rather Chris Jericho remain the Ring of Honor champion or go to somebody like Cardona?
I mean, Jericho's winning no matter what. It doesn't matter who he's.
But but hypothetically though, I'm asking you, like, because you've complained that you don't want Jericho as the champion, right? We're not happy
Correct.
about this.
Yes, correct.
So
yes.
They are fighting for the championship. If you could pick, like, not obviously, we all assume Jericho will win and keep the belt, yes. But like in your Ring of Honor world, would you be happier with Jericho being the champion or happier with a Matt Cardona type being the champion?
Jericho, because I know
Okay.
that it's going to stay in the company. Like, my problem is, like, not that Ring of Honor is building anybody up to face Jericho, but I don't understand why we had to bring somebody from the outside to challenge on the final battle, which is our biggest show of the year. Wouldn't you rather showcase, like, a Ring of Honor wrestler? Like, I don't understand why this whole notion of, like, oh, Matt Cardona's coming in. Cool. He's from New York. Cool. He'll be at Hammerstein a month later with GCW. But
That's
again,
why, though. That's why.
yeah, because Tony Khan's
It's
petty.
petty. It's petty.
Yeah,
Petty.
it's pettiness.
But it's pettiness that's affecting me. And if you look at this, like, what is this card
Affecting
going to be?
you.
I will tell you what this whole card is. So the main event is Jericho Cardona, right? We
Yeah.
have
I
already
love that comment.
we already have announced Red Velvet versus Layla Hirsch. We have
Yeah.
announced Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes versus the Righteous in a Texas Bull Rope match. We are going to
Yes.
get Jay Lethal and QT Marshall. I have been to final battles where it was like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in a hour-long ladder war match. I was there when they kicked out Adam Cole from the Bullet Club when he went to WWE. I have been there for some of the best final battle moments, and you were telling me that the best Tony Khan could do, the best money could buy, was Matt Cardona.
This ain't
That
your
was
dad's.
the best
This
thing
ain't your
to
dad's
do.
Ring of Honor no more.
I love Matt Cardona, so I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not a big deal that he's there. So
Like, I don't understand. Like, why couldn't we try to bring back
because
someone
but
that has
Tony doesn't.
Hammerstein?
But
Yes, I know he doesn't care, but this is the problem. Why couldn't we
Yeah,
try to
sure.
bring back somebody with like Hammerstein Prestige? They
That's
literally showed a video package tonight of like all these Hammerstein memories. You
Yeah.
just had Nigel come back. Why could one of Nigel's last matches was at Hammerstein? Why I would have rather had Jericho and Nigel. To be
That'd be
honest
fun.
with you,
is Nigel going to be a part of this show?
probably not.
He's not really, because obviously I know he came back for the Battle Royal. He had the match with Brian. Has he been like doing anything Ring of Honor like at all, or has
He
he
was
just been
a pure judge in a pure rules match last week.
Lawrence.
I feel like
do you
he
do?
should be wrestling on Ring of Honor. To be honest with you,
Your words to Tony Khan's.
Tony don't listen to me. I can't. He don't.
You think he
I
listens
don't
to
even-
me?
I don't know. I don't even get access.
Yeah, I'm
to,
not
we don't even-
allowed to answer that anymore.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
He only knows
So-
part of me.
Yeah.
We only knew part of you till tonight when you decided to side with Kofi and Woods. But Lawrence, what do you think about this as an avid fan of these
Lawrence, take my
participants?
side. It's the only
Ooh.
side that's right.
I actually do agree with Kimmy. It is pretty dumb, and it's giving me like WWE CW vibes. They're how they're running a lot of ROH. It just like it seems like very much the afterthought. Like I get why if they like it seems like for like a year now they've been trying to get a TV deal for ROH and just nothing's happened, and we're just gonna be stuck with Jericho for the next few months till a TV deal pops up. Like there are more interesting people on that roster that deserve that shot.
Oh, I agree. I would put the title on Shane Taylor yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. Shane Taylor's the
I would
top
put
of
it.
my
I
list.
would have put the Ring of Honor heavyweight title on Shane Taylor literally yesterday.
Oh my god, wait.
Uh,
Top Flight just beat Shane Taylor Promotions. If you go like 20 minutes earlier, you see me shocked as JPJ's talk about the New Day thing. That was because I saw Shane Taylor Promotions lose after they just hyped up that the infantry joined them.
Yeah,
What
I was gonna say, with the infantry's there now. Is Lee Moriarty there? Right? Lee
Oh
Moriarty.
yeah, Lee Moriarty's there.
infantry
Trisha
and Shane
Dora's
Taylor?
there. Trisha
Who?
Dora.
Oh
for
yes, I knew
Shakira.
that too. Yes.
She got her first win actually tonight on Ring of Honor. She beat Rachel Ellering. Round of applause. Very big deals.
Yeah, we like Rachel.
What's
Former
first?
LPW
What's first?
wrestler. She's been on LPW.
The GCW show or Final Battle?
Final Battle is first. The GCW will be taking
that's
the
all
GCW.
that is. That's all
that's
that
why.
is.
That's why this whole thing. Again, there's a deeper thing. Obviously, we talked.
But we talked about this last week, and I'll
Yeah.
say it again. I don't think it's going to affect either one's sales. I don't think somebody's going to go, oh, I'm going to go see Cardona at Final Battle instead of Hammer. If you're a GCW fan, you're going to go to GCW regardless. And if you're an AEW ROH fan, you're going to go to ROH. I mean, if you like wrestling, you'll probably go to both. I don't know. I think
it's affordable.
I think it's interesting. I like it. I like the slight bit of pettiness on Tony Khan's end, and I like the fact that Effie doubled down and didn't back down from what he said. I kind of like it. I'm not gonna lie. It's been an interesting little weird thing.
At the end of the day, the whole stuff that happened last week with Ricky Starks and stemming from the Effie podcast and all that. Now, a week later, we have a GCW wrestler fighting on the Ring of Honor show at Hammerstein. The whole thing that caused that whole thing was the GCW guys were pissed that AEW booked it after that was the whole thing. At the very least, this tells me that there was at least a conversation that happened.
Well, Brett came out and publicly said he's happy for everybody involved, and
so that tells.
Let's be honest too. Even in storyline, this is such a Cardona thing to do, right? In storyline, just I'm going to get paid. I don't care. I'm cashing checks and snapping necks, baby.
Timmy, do you want to answer this for Hoosier? He says, "I've heard a lot about Ring of Honor. Where do I find it? I'm intrigued."
What's the actual website URL? Is it
Isn't it just
Watch ROH?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's Watch ROH. Okay.
Watch
it is WatchROH.com. You have to pay $9.99 a month to access it, which is the other. Which is the other problem, right?
Yes, but you have you have to.
I could watch the pay-per-view, right?
Yeah.
And I don't need to watch the TV to understand what goes on the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Like me and my editor, we do predictions for every Ring of Honor pay-per-view, and I always lose. And I don't understand because I sit there and pay the $9.99 and watch the weekly program. I don't understand how that he cannot watch the program and he gets like every match right. I'm like, this is not how it's supposed to work out. The math is working here. Unbelievable. It's like Tony Khan is like, Doug.
Hoosier, what I would say is I think the pay-per-views are worth the price. Usually $20, $30 max, but I think the pay-per-views for Ring of Honor are worth the price. They're still usually pretty good. I would not pay monthly until they get a TV deal. They're going to get a TV deal at some point, I would think. And if they do, there's rumors that Rampage is officially done. They're not selling tickets for Rampage anymore. Maybe that Friday night slot becomes the Ring of Honor show and they do that. Maybe, I don't know. I think that's a possibility. If you're getting rid of Rampage, or you're getting rid of an hour show, why can't you do an hour actual Ring of Honor television show where it's focused on Ring of Honor? But from people that watch Ring of Honor regularly, Kimmy is one of them. She does do the reviews and all the predictions and things like that. I have been told by many people that the weekly show is usually not worth it. It's usually not worth it. So, yeah. I don't know how easy it is to access them after the fact, if they show the matches on YouTube after or anything like that, weeks down the line, or
usually Ian Riccaboni on Twitter will do like a top 5 of top 5 things you missed on Ring of Honor. He'll tweet, it'll be tweeted out on the Ring of Honor Twitter probably next week. Then they show clips on stuff. But the one thing I will say, I don't think I've said this publicly. So I'm actually supposed to be at House of Glory on the day of Final Battle working with the Hardys in Phoenix.
You gotta do both then. Double duty.
So, so this is my thought process.
House of Glory is in New York. House of Glory is in New York, based out of New York, right?
Yes. Yeah? Okay. So my thing is, I said this to myself last night. I'm like, wow, does Tony Khan really want me to go to House of Glory that bad?
I don't think Tony Khan wants you around.
He's really not making me want to go to Final Battle.
Tom doesn't agree with your opinion that Woods and Kofi
I think he's purposefully tanking Ring of Honor, so you'll leave him alone.
You think so?
Yes.
Out of spite, he is that petty.
Yes.
Listen, at this point, I might be the only person with him on the scrum. He should be
That's
like
fair.
so
But
happy.
Tony Khan goes, "Oh, so you watch Ring of Honor? So what?"
Yeah, exactly. So what?
But he
You pay
was
You pay $9.99 a month for remakes for rematches that we've had 15 years ago. So what?
So what?
So
But
what?
he was so proud of me for asking about GalaxyCon at the Full
There
Gear
you go.
scrum.
Listen,
He
you can be
was so
proud of
happy.
someone and still not want them to be around you. Let me tell
There'd be
you.
a lot more of me.
I'm
in
just telling you. I'm
2025,
just telling you.
so.
I'm just telling you. Those two
That is such a great JPJ line.
What?
You can be proud of somebody and not want them around you.
Listen,
I love
I'm
it.
proud of a lot of people. I don't need them sitting right next to me right now. You know, you can go over there. Get away from me.
You get
Not that I'm saying that about you, Kimmy. I want you around, even though you're deciding to throw us away. But I want you around.
I never did. I say it.
I'm kidding.
I'm
kidding.
Did I say that I was going to stop talking to everybody in the media? I'm pretty sure my tweet
As
said
we
I'm
go
taking a step
on,
back.
we remember.
And never talking to anyone in the media.
Well, you know what will make
Is
Kimmy
me.
cry when we make the Sarah McLachlan farewell video of all the times she crashed the streams and we send it to her. I will remember you.
But then right at the end,
doing that, she'll cry.
when you're about to cry, we're gonna full stop record scratch the video and play the clip of you taking Kofi and Xavier's side and go, just kidding, deuces, enjoy your life. Don't come crawling back.
And then everyone blocks you on social media. In tandem.
Wow.
Unreal. All right. Now, Kimmy was working this weekend. So, Lawrence, before we get you out of here, let's talk a little Survivor Series. Because obviously I know you watched it. She hasn't gotten around to it yet because she was at WrestleCade.
I'm so sorry that Mina Shirakawa and Mick Foley need my undivided attention.
Just keep on dropping them names, dog. You've only mentioned them a dozen times.
I want to just tell you
keep it coming. Keep it. You got to do it. So if anybody comes in every minute of the show, they know who you worked with this past weekend. You know what I mean? Exactly. That's kind of. If I say the names every 2 minutes, whether they're new or not, they'll just know that I.
And Lita. Oh, I met the great Kelly.
Keep it going.
The great Kelly. The Waynes.
Oh yeah, Mama Wayne was there.
Yeah, Mama Wayne was there.
Was she nice?
Yeah, she was. She shook my hand. She said thank you every time I did something for her.
respectable.
She was very nice. I was like, oh wow.
Fair enough.
Nick was also very nice. I was like, look at all these nice people. Like, wow. And then I saw Sean Ross Sapp. That was
Was he nice?
Sometimes.
I was gonna say most
will
of the
give Sean
times
credit,
that
though.
I've met him, he's been nice.
Listen, I can't say exactly what had happened, but he literally stayed with me at the bar till 1:30 in the morning because of a situation that was going on to make sure I was okay.
Wow.
And I give him credit for that because he did not have to do that.
No. Sean's a swell fellow. You're gonna tell me after the words what the fuck that situation was, just so you know. You're gonna tell me. Yeah.
Yeah, I know I will.
So anyway,
Lawrence,
Survivor Series.
Get the secret stream ready so we can blurt it out.
No, you got Survivor Series this past Saturday. I thought it was a pretty good one. Let me tell you. 5 matches, 2 War Games matches. We had the Women's War Games match open the show, 38 minutes and 15 seconds long. And we saw Team Rhea, which was Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Naomi, Io Sky, and Bayley, defeat the Judgment Day, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae. The finish of this match was when Rhea Ripley gave a super, oh my God, why am I drawing a blank on this friggin' last name of the name of the, what's the move?
Riptide.
I'm having a brain fart. Riptide, yes.
Riptide?
A super Riptide.
I'm a journalist.
From, sorry, I just had a brain fart. From the top rope to the ring, I believe it was through a table too. I think it was just a brutal one.
Yeah.
For the 1, 2, 3. So Team Rhea gets the win there. I saw a lot of people not talk I saw that a lot of people didn't like this match. Didn't like some of it. I saw some more negative comments about it than I thought I would. I actually thought it was pretty good.
Because Nia didn't kill somebody with a chair. And
that was a pretty bad.
That was pretty bad.
That was pretty
But there wasn't as much tension on the face team as I thought there was going to be. They played that up the entire time, and then they went in there and worked like a perfectly cohesive unit, which I think some people were like, that was too easy. But it was a good match. I enjoyed myself.
I
I had a good time.
I
Nia went coast to coast, baby.
Yeah. Listen,
Suck it, nerds.
What did I say last week? I said, if Nia's first, I'm like, Tiffany's going to be the next one, dude. And she's cashing, like, that's happening. And they teased it, even though she wasn't the next one, because Candace kind of did that. I'm walking in front of you type thing. But I like the tease of the Money in the Bank cash in with Tiffany. I thought that was good. I would have liked to have seen it happen. I thought that would have been really unique and different. But yeah, I mean, I thought overall, this women's match was pretty good. Lawrence, how'd you feel about it? I saw some more negative comments than I was expecting about it. It kind of shocked me a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't expect that much negative reaction to it because, like, I enjoyed the match. Like, Io Sky is just the best, like, coolest person on the planet. It's like that trash can gimmick is a terror. Like, no one trusts their coworkers more than Io Sky.
Doing a moonsault.
So moonsault off the cage, completely blind. Yeah. Like, you've got to know, A, you've got the talent to hit the spot properly, and B, you've got to know your people are going to be there to catch you, because that is a terrifying spot every time.
Yeah.
Like, I could watch that shit forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like, I felt like the cash in during the thing would have been like, it's obviously novel, but like it's also incredibly convoluted because you got too many people in there that all have their own agendas that just might break it up just to spite you.
That was my thing. When we talked about it last week, I was like, do you think the other women in that match would be petty enough to be like, no, this ain't happening. Not in here. Not while I'm here.
Yeah.
You know, like, even though they have nothing to do with it, they would be like, no. Not happening. That was my concern. But yeah, again, I thought it was a good opening match. I thought it was, once all of them were in the ring, I thought it was great. I thought the final was great. I thought it was very good.
Yeah.
A lot of the complaints I heard were from the build getting to all of them in the ring.
That's
like,
true.
nothing
like
crazy happened.
Bailey
it was just kind of,
match.
it was just, you know. I'll tell you what, though. The second match on the show was the shortest match on the show, but Pluggo, what did I say last week, baby? I said, you got to pull the trigger and you got to put the belt on Shinsuke Nakamura.
You did call that.
That's what I said. I said, we got to do it.
You did call that.
First and foremost, that entrance that he had was awesome. That entrance ruled for Shinsuke. The new music, the outfit he was wearing, I loved everything about that new presentation and entrance. They had a quick match. It was under 10 minutes long, but Nakamura handled business. He defeated LA Knight, and he is the new United States champion. Long overdue for him to win a title. He was like 0 for his last 8 in title matches. Very
really?
Good. Yes. Mm-hmm. He lost all the ones to AJ Styles. He lost all the ones to Seth. That's at least 6.
Kimmy, you were here when we did that show, and we all said the dude never wins the big match. They put him in this spot, and then
there's been a lot of things that's happened.
Listen, a lot of things. She's been working with Mina Shirakawa and the Hardys, and then
and I'm walking here. I'm walking in this Sunday. I'm so excited.
Yeah, exactly. You know, she's too big. She's too big to remember measly little shit talking us 2 weeks ago.
All right. Now, just quick thought on that match, or not that match. Shinsuke is now your new United States Championship. How long do you think he holds it? 6 months?
3 weeks. I think he loses it time he faces LA Knight.
Royal Rumble.
6 months, like Royal Rumble. Okay, I like that.
I don't think Shinsuke needs to have a long reign, but he needed to win so we can take him serious. Like, if he never wins, are you ever going to think he's going to win? Ever? If he never wins, like, he had to win. And I think LA Knight, it's fine to take the belt off him. They can either move him up the card maybe, or they can have this go for a little bit longer and he can win it back and get the big babyface pop at the Rumble, or, you know, whenever they want to do it, Elimination Chamber, whatever they want to do. I thought this was 100% the right move, Lawrence, giving the belt to Shinsuke.
Yeah, 100%. Like, the second you saw his new presentation, I'm like, he's definitely winning that. Like, it would be the stupidest thing for him to lose after doing all this and presenting him as a straight up murderer. Like, and like they did a good job of presenting it throughout them, telling that story throughout the match too.
Mm-hmm. Like, I thought so too.
I think he should hold on it for at least a little bit into the new year.
Yeah. Ideally, that would be a perfect scenario, as he holds it for at least maybe a month or two. Like, give him a couple months.
What do you do with LA Knight?
Well, LA Knight, I assume, will be in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Send
Wow.
him home. Give him a break. Give him
That
a
is
break.
true. He could.
I
I feel. Yeah. Go
So
ahead.
I,
No, talk.
like I said, I did not watch Survivor Series. I just saw some clips,
Did
and
you?
I saw him. No, I'm not going there. I'm just saying, like, he looked very angry in his entrance. He dropped the title.
He did. He
in
did
the
look.
entrance.
Yeah, in the
And so
entrance,
I
he did
think
look not thrilled.
I think he's a little angry. So I think he needs to, I think he needs a break.
Yeah.
I think he's very frustrated. Thinks he needs a break.
Probably. Well, I don't think it's any secret if LA Knight's pretty outspoken. So I would imagine they finally heated him up. He finally got a title. We've been saying for with him for years now, like, when are you going to put the belt on LA? When are you going to give him a shot? When are you going to give it? And they give it to him, and then they take it away for Shinsuke. Now, something probably went on. Maybe, who knows? I don't know the backstage stuff. I'm not in the know like that. But yeah, he probably wasn't excited.
I mean, the way that I look at it, like, and I know we're in this era now where all the title reigns. He held the belt for 3 months. Like, that's not.
Name one memorable thing he did with it outside of beating Logan Paul for it.
That's fair. I thought he had some good matches on Smack. He was defending it a lot on SmackDown against Escobar, against Carmelo Hayes, against Andrade. They had the triple threat match that I thought was good.
Yeah.
Like, he had a decent reign. It just wasn't always on pay-per-views or PLEs. But I thought he had a decent reign. But I think him being off of, he's been like one of the actual constants on SmackDown. He's been there every single week for what feels like a year and a half.
More than anyone.
I don't think it would be.
How nice of him.
I don't think it would be a bad thing for him to take a few weeks off and maybe not be on TV for a few weeks. Just kind of get not a refresh of the character, because he's fine. He's still over as hell. But, like, take a few weeks off, show up right as the new year starts, announce yourself for the Rumble, and then you kind of build towards that. Like, I don't think the next time he shows up, the crowd's still going to go friggin' bananas for him. They're still going to chant the Yaz and do the LA. Like, I don't think he's lost anything from this. I think a break from TV will do him good. But I mean, I think, when you bring him back, he can still go for this belt. I like him wanting to get the belt back. I think that would be the right thing to do. That would just, who knows. But the next match of the evening was my personal favorite match of the evening. I thought it was the best match on the show, and that was the triple threat match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship between Braun Breaker, Sheamus, and Ludwig Kaiser. This match was awesome. These three guys went all out. They beat the crap out of each other. Braun Breaker ends up retaining the championship, but Ludwig Kaiser almost snuck in there a couple times, and they kind of continued that on Raw with Ludwig and Braun kind of having a backstage interaction. So I don't know if we're leaning towards a one-on-one with them two, because Braun is the tweener character. They don't consider him a bad guy or good guy. He's a tweener. I love this match, though. I thought this was the best match of the night.
I heard a lot of good things about this match.
I thought it was great. I thought it was great.
It was all right. It was all right. No, it was good. Then poor Sheamus, man, he took a beating in that match for sure. Dude.
Oh.
Triple H even said something in the press conference. He goes, dude, Sheamus has been doing this for 20 years and he's still doing shit like this. He doesn't have to do that.
Nope.
But it was a good match. I did like you said, Monday they kind of continued it a little bit. I personally I'm kind of ready for Braun to make that next step, but I think they're going to give him a more substantial title run in the IC just to make sure. But I keep looking at the guy and I'm like, he's bigger than this IC title, I think. In the future, maybe not right this second, but I'm like, give it to Kaiser. Why not? That'd be fun.
I mean, I think
Sheamus has got to win it at some point.
I think there's a cool way to get that belt off Braun and kind of elevate Braun, and then you have a WrestleMania match be Ludwig Kaiser versus Sheamus for the IC title.
Yeah,
that's when Sheamus does it and completes the Grand Slam at Mania. He gets his IC title because Kaiser, and he mentioned it on Raw to Braun. He said, "I've been looking forward to getting back to Sheamus since he broke my ribs," and that was like 6 or 7 months. That was a long time ago. That was like earlier this year. Yeah. So I think there's a way.
Hurt again.
I think so.
Doesn't he have like a fractured rib? I saw.
Yeah, somewhere. Something like that. I think his ribs are still.
All I know is Sheamus was okay with not winning the IC title on Saturday because Notre Dame beat USC.
Is that what it was? Got it.
He was okay with
Got
it then.
I bet.
Go Irish, baby. Two pick sixes for 100 yards each, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Notre Dame.
Talk to me when they do something like that in January.
Oh,
but
get a whole playoff game, my guy. We're going to be hosted in the snow.
Oh, is that what? No, wait. So because you're not a top 4 seed, all those
we're not allowed. We're not allowed.
Because you're not in a conference.
No, we're not allowed. That's not. Listen, we can do that. Not for a company, but
no.
There's a few teams in this playoff that didn't have to play in a conference championship game. Because of that, we only are allowed to get as high as 5. Yeah. But if you're 5, 6, 7.
You get home games.
You get a home game, or 8. Yeah, you get a home game, and then the lower seeds have to go on the road, but then you get to buy the conference. But yeah, so we're going to get a home playoff game. And
so you should win that one.
It's snowing like crazy, so sorry to all you fans that play in good weather because you're coming up here and it's going to be cold.
I mean, so you'll win that one, and then you'll play a real team in a neutral site, and you'll lose by 30.
No, here we go.
I'm just going by facts, track record. I'm just going by track record.
Not this year, my guy.
I have no ill will versus Notre Dame.
Nope.
Although you did say that wrong.
Nope, because where we're sitting, we're gonna get. We got a pretty easy path if we get to 5. 5 is the.
Is it that bad? Is it like that bad? Like
because you'll get the 4 seed.
You don't play the 1?
Nope. The winner of the 8-9 game.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
So we'll get like SMU.
All right, so you might have an easy route into like the semis.
Don't
and then you'll play Alabama or Clemson or something like that, and you'll get
Well, hopefully.
But my thing is, again, we'll go talk about wrestling again. Even though I could go after you because you spoke ill will. You did not speak truths.
Me?
Yeah.
About what?
Because you said there are a lot of teams. No, we're not going to do it.
A lot of teams. What? A lot of teams.
Because the way that you phrased it.
There's a lot of teams in this playoff right now that did not play in a conference, don't have to play in a conference championship.
But they're in conferences.
That means dick.
No, but it doesn't though.
How?
In the playoff scenario, it doesn't.
It doesn't. Ohio State, they're not playing. Alabama's lost 3 times. They're not playing. They're only playing 12 games.
I'm not talking about the political side of it. That Bama being in there with 3 losses, I'm not okay.
It has nothing to do with it. We have 5 ranked opponents. We have 5 top 25 wins. Nobody else has that.
But I'm saying the rule is, if you read the rule, Notre Dame can only get to number 5 because they're not in a conference. If they were in a conference, they would be 1 through 4 because they would win their conference.
They don't have to play the
way that you said it.
But it's silly, right?
Like the way out to get Notre Dame. Notre Dame chooses not to be in a conference
because
they choose to not be in a conference. They can join the Big Ten anytime they want. They choose not to because it's easier for them.
That's not even true.
Yes, it is. They're guaranteed in the playoff because they play a bunch of bums.
Wow, look, Lawrence left. Wow.
Yeah. But anyway, why are we arguing about Notre Dame? Anyway.
Wow, you won't made Lawrence leave.
Lawrence is like, we're talking football and it's not the Eagles. Piss off. That's what he said. That's what he said.
Wow, anyway, come back, Lawrence.
No, it's okay. We're fine. We then had.
He does this on Tuesdays. He doesn't leave on Tuesdays.
I do. Yeah. Because Lawrence knows what to expect. He goes, I'm going to get on here and Joe's going to yell at me about the Eagles, even though this week I said great things about the Eagles. This week was fun. So we should do a college rating one so you can come at me. That's what we said.
Coming at you is impossible because you don't ever see anybody else's side of things.
Correct. It's my opinion is the correct one always. Gunther. What? What?
No,
Why are you looking at me like that?
Your opinion's always the right one.
Scott, I agree with you. I don't know why you would be in a conference in some. To me, again, this is just the NCAA is weird.
How does it make it easier? Please explain that to me, please.
I don't know.
Please explain. We still have 5 ranked top 25 wins on our schedule. How is that easier if we join the Big Ten, who is top heavy? All the top teams at the bottom of the Big Ten are trash.
Listen, I'm not fighting you. I'm just saying what
the rules the ACC and beat up on Wake Forest. We can do that anyway.
You beat up on you beat up on BC every year anyway. Most of the time,
it doesn't matter.
I'm talking about it for you guys though, because you guys are never going to be able to get a top 4 seed.
That's okay.
Because you're not in a conference.
That's okay. We don't need it. And I guarantee you that's going to change because there's so many holes in the system this year that it makes no sense.
Right? They got to figure it out. This will adapt as time goes.
It's bad.
Yeah, this will adapt as time goes. It's year one. The fact, and like I understand Alabama's a power team, but the fact that they have three losses and are in the tournament, that's a joke. That's a joke. Anyway, World Heavyweight Championship match, Survivor Series. Gunther defeated Damian Priest, technically by choking him out with a technical submission. But we saw Mr. Finn Balor once again get involved at the end of this match and cost Damian Priest yet again the World Heavyweight Championship. So it seems like we are going to be heading down the path of Finn Balor and Damian Priest once again. There was also a report today that came out that said that Finn Balor over the last calendar year has become a locker room leader in the back, and there should be the plans are for a sustained push for Mr. Balor well into 2025. So, and we also saw, you know what we saw on Saturday? Finn Balor comes out, he takes out Priest, and we saw Gunther. I loved this from Gunther. He immediately kicked Finn Balor's head off. Like, he didn't do the typical heel thing with like, oh, this guy came out to help me. All right. Hey, all right. Thanks, man. And he like just pinned him and won. He kicked Finn Balor's head off. Like, I don't need your help, buddy. And then on Raw, they had a back and forth. And I thought Gunther was excellent where he said, I needed that win for me. I was going through a tough time and I needed that win for me to know that I could do it. And you took that away from me. And now we're getting Finn Balor versus Gunther a week from Saturday at Saturday night's main event for the world title, which I'm very happy. Finn Balor
which Lawrence said, please watch the brunch gimmick on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern right here on Love Wrestling on YouTube. That's what it'll be.
Absolutely. One of the main shows. He could have said that on air. He wasn't a little,
Maybe he's mad at you. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
I told you what he was. He was like, I don't talk football unless we talk about the Eagles. So that's why he left. But Lawrence, I don't disagree. I do think this will lead to some sort. I think Finn's going to get the belt somehow, not like imminently, but I think Finn Balor's getting that belt because I do think Damian Priest and Finn will fight over the heavyweight title at some point.
Well, listen, just like Adam Priest mentioned on Monday Night Raw, Balor has another title he has to worry about.
That is true. And he said they'll talk about it this coming Monday. We'll talk about your other championship. Yeah. Does that mean, do we think that Finn Balor might be having to pull double duty?
No, I think they're going to lose the tag team titles. I don't know so when.
Too. Do we think the War Raiders?
Yeah.
Or do you think they go New Day now? Oh, yeah.
I think they go War Raiders because it was reported also this week that they're now baby faces, and I think the New Day have to beat a very big baby face team. And since Balor and the Judgment Day are technically still heels, and this is WWE where the baby face heel rule technically still matters, I definitely think that the War Raiders will win. Maybe at Saturday's night main event because I think there's only 3 matches announced, and it's a 2.
No.
There's more than 3?
I think, they announced 2 on Monday.
Well, I thought there was only 1 officially announced prior, and it was
Cody and KO. Gunther's getting a match.
Yeah, it's Cody and KO. It's Gunther and Finn. It's EO and Liv.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They announced another one.
Okay, so my point was like it's a 2-hour TV event. They need more matches to fill it. So I definitely could see them running like that tag match on Saturday and then the War Raiders winning at Saturday's night main event. And then at the Rumble, the New Day beating the War Raiders for the tag team titles. That's where I was getting at.
Fair. Have they said it's only going to be 2 hours?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, we're having the finals for the United States Women's Tournament.
Saturday. Yeah. So
I knew there was. I'm like, there's another match somewhere.
So it's from 9 to 11 on NBC.
I thought it was 8 to 10.
I think it's 8 to 10.
Well, NBC's. Then what's 10 to 11 then?
I don't know. The news.
The news starts at 11.
I don't know. We'll figure NBC. It out. I think there's a chance it goes. They clearly look at the 4 matches they have are all championship matches. They're clearly making this a PLE level event. If they add a 5th or 6th match, I think with commercials, this is going from 8 to 11. I don't think it's going to be 2 hours. I think it goes longer. That would be my opinion. If they end up with 5, look at it, most PLEs are 5 matches, right? And they go anywhere between 2.5 and 3 hours without commercials. Now you add in NBC.
It does say it is 8 to 10.
Yeah, 8 to 10. I thought it was 2 hours, but that,
Well, the thing is, too, also on the PLEs, they put back-to-back-to-back vignettes that
That is
take
true.
15
So that's like a
minutes,
commercial.
and they're not going to put that in there. And they do the countless backstage promos. Like, I know it was reported like Jimmy Hart's supposed to be there, and they were talking of legends, so you have to throw that in there as well, of possible legends that are showing up too. I know they want to make this very nostalgic. I wouldn't be surprised if they show Ventura, because Ventura obviously I wasn't alive for this though, but very staple of that. He signed a Legends deal recently.
Mm-hmm. I would love Ventura to be like the guy who speaks on the intro video. I think that's a perfect little, because he's got that voice. You want to hear his voice, Ventura. He has that very famous. Deep,
it just dawned on me that Adam Pearce likes chaos.
Yep.
Adam Pearce is not happy with Finn Balor and his decision to get involved. Mm-hmm. Adam Pearce is going to say Saturday Night's Main Event, you want that title shot with Gunther, you got to wrestle that tag match. And then Finn is going to walk away from JD McDonough.
You think?
I think so. I'm going to call it now. And he's going to go.
It feels like the Judgment Day is splitting, though.
Yeah, and and if you watched on Monday, JD kind of hung back when Finn left and dapped up the rest of the group. So I don't think he's vibing with Finn either. I think that's what we're going to see. And he's going to go, well, I got a shot at the world title. And then he's going to lose both. And he's going to be left on his own. And he's going to get the singles push that he probably needs. And he's going to be I'm just going there.
I don't hate it. I like Finn Balor a lot.
Better than the New Day winning tag titles, Kimmy.
Wow, well, that's going to happen. 100% happen.
When that happens,
and then we had
my first text, Pluggo.
You don't have my number, Kimmy.
I'll
DM you.
Blocked.
Wow.
I'll DM you on it. I'll Facebook message you.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That's man.
I will leave social media.
We had the men's war game match. It was the longest match on the show, 41 minutes and 55 seconds long. Roman Reigns and the OG bloodline defeated Solo and the current bloodline and Bronson Reed, even though Bronson Reed looks like he should just be in the bloodline. But I thought this match was good. I thought it was better than the women's one in general, but I thought both War Games matches were strong. I wasn't so down on the women's one as some. I loved the stuff they did with CM Punk and Roman in the cage. Obviously, I thought that was a nice little touch with, Roman saying, nope, Sammy's going out, you're not, and Punk just staring a hole right through him like, are you kidding me, dude? And then Punk kind of shoulder blocking him and walking in front of him. I thought that was all really well done. I thought the scene where Roman was going to get Bronson Reed was going to give a tsunami to Roman Reigns off the top of the cage, which would have murdered. Yeah, I think so. I think he might have broke both of them, but
I saw a video that it looked like
he lands on both his ankles. It's like,
and they both go.
They just go like this. And he's a big dude. He's got a lot of weight coming down with him too. So it's just like he landed and his ankles just went back like that.
Then Jimmy got banged up too.
At one point, Jacob Fatu, who was in the chat earlier.
Yeah.
Jacob Fatu, I'm not going to use the word that everybody uses because I don't think that's fair to wrestlers, but he had a misstep on one of his moonsaults and he slipped a little bit and he sold a leg injury that I think everybody bought. I was
Can I say this?
Shattered his knee. That was it. He shattered his knee right there.
Full stop. I know what you were going to say, and you're not going to say it because you're a respectful human being, but I'm going to say it. In a War Games match, I don't want it to be clean and look pretty and be a 5-star Tokyo Dome Osprey Ricochet thing. I want it to be gritty. I want wrestlers to mess up spots because it's a War Games match. It's chaotic. Calm down, wrestling world. He missed this. He botched. It's okay to botch. It's a fucking War Games match.
Listen, this is why we are who we are. Because on Tuesday at Firmly WWE, I had people in the chat who I love. They're in the chat every week. I love them all for supporting me and Drew and love wrestling and all that. The people in the chat that were anti-women's War Game match, including Drew, who was on screen with me, when I asked them what they didn't like, they said, oh, it was sloppy. And I said, it's a War Games match.
Yeah, it's gritty. I want it to be sloppy.
Is it not? It's a War Games match supposed to be crisp and clean? It's double ring with cages and weapons, man. What do you mean? It's supposed to be sloppy. It's a war. The war is in the title.
Yeah, Kimmy, how do you feel about this?
Am I crazy for thinking that way?
I mean, I didn't see the match.
You didn't. I
so
know. I know.
can't-
But I'm saying, how do you feel
That
about?
to me, that argument is ridiculous.
I mean, no match is ever perfect, so I don't understand what the problem is anyway. Like,
I don't
there's
either. But when
mistakes in
I hear,
every-
yeah, I agree. Go ahead.
But I guess
just-
their argument is, I guess, you know, if you, I will say the word because I could do what I want, freedom of speech. If you botch in a war games, there is a better chance of injury than another. So I guess
Sure.
like I could see that of like, oh, if you botch in a war games, what's the chance of you actually getting hurt? And we
Well,
saw
then
2
they
injuries in this
shouldn't-
war games
Then
match.
they shouldn't choreograph such insane spots then, but then we'd be like, oh, that War Games match was boring.
Yeah, just to me, when it's a war games match, you know, or like if they're having a last women or last man standing match where it's chaos and this, like how when I heard that argument of it, I didn't like it. It was kind of sloppy. I was like, what were you expecting? Like a 5-star classic and inside war games, drop toe holds and friggin' cravats. What do you mean it was sloppy? Yeah, like what do you mean it was sloppy? It's a war games match. They're literally throwing trash cans at each other. Like, what do you think's going to happen in that match? It was just so bizarre to me. But all in all, Roman Reigns and his team picks up the victory. Roman pins Solo. Solo took all the moves at the end of this match. He took them all. He ate them all.
All the finishers.
They had that spot where he was just standing up, surrounded by the 5 of them. And they all, one by one, did the damn thing. And Roman ended with the spear and a pinfall victory. Good stuff. And then after the match, you know, Roman and Punk are looking at each other, stuff like that. But I thought all in all, I thought it was pretty good. How did you feel, you know, grade-wise, PLUGGO, or number-wise? Like, where would you, how did you think Survivor Series was as a whole?
Grading this now?
Well, no, but like, did you think it lived up to the billing? Were you a little disappointed?
Yeah,
how'd you feel?
I had a good time with the show. I didn't think there was anything out of too egregious where I'd have been like, oh, this sucks. I really enjoyed the men's match. I thought the men's match is one of the best War Games matches we've seen, just cinematically wise. It was fantastic. Yeah. I didn't hate the women's match either. I thought the only real criticism I had was I thought the women's match should have had more tension within the face team, but that was but other than that, I liked it. I will say this though. Can we talk about just how awkward, like when he like CM Punk like snuck around for the picture?
Yeah.
Like it just was awkward. And I know that it wasn't meant to look the same. He wasn't going to throw up the one. Just the way he did it, he was like like he was sneaking into the photo. Whatever. But you know, I liked it overall. I thought it was fine. I liked all of it. I had a good time. I went to bed happy that day.
Yeah. And who's just saying, am I the only one who thought Sammy and Punk were going to turn on the Usos and Roman? I think they definitely teased that.
There was no dissension.
There was no dissension, but I thought leading into the match, I thought either those two or Heyman himself. I was like, you know, I think they made you think that. They did a good job of like making you think something could go wrong.
So is Roman the tribal chief now?
No, he has to beat Solo. He has to beat Solo 1-on-1 and take the Uafala.
We're in like a 7-inning stretch, PLUGGO.
Yeah, well, we're not even in the 6th. I don't think.
I know. That was the only thing I left Survivor Series going like, okay, what did we ultimately accomplish here?
Nothing.
Because the match ruled. It was awesome. But it's not like we're like, oh, Solo's done now. It's Roman's. And then Jay needs to decide what Jay wants to do. Punk has obviously got things that he wants to do, as he said on Monday, in really weird way he said it. But hey, yeah, we didn't really accomplish anything, but the match ruled, so I'm okay with that. I don't need it to get me anywhere. We're in the 6th inning, right?
Yeah. And that's one thing. We do know that CM Punk now has a favor to ask of Roman and Paul. So we'll have to see what that is.
Now, is he asking Roman for the favors? He just asked.
I think he's going to go through Paul. I think he's going to go through Paul, and Paul will facilitate.
What could he possibly want? Does he want the Uafala? Is he like, listen, I want a shot at that thing. That thing's been on TV for.
No, I think it
He
probably
just wants
leads to.
muffins. He said at the
Yeah.
press conference.
did.
he
That is
wants
true. That is
muffins.
true. At the press conference, he did say that. That was very
Shout out to Spencer. Get a question in.
Yeah,
about
Spencer
Breaker
got a.
Bar.
Yeah, Spencer asked a
But-
question on Breaker, but
Yeah, that was awkward too. He just shows up mid press conference, and then like they were at the end of the questions, which I think he probably timed it that way because the last question they're like, oh yeah, CM Punk.
In WWE,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think he's had them all.
But I mean, even so, like, because it looked like Monday, Punk was alluding to he's going to finish his story and he's alluding to WrestleMania. Then Seth comes out and then Seth's like, "Well, I want a piece," and CM Punk's like, "I don't want nothing to do with you, kid." But it looks like they're going to mix it up. So what does Seth have that Punk would need? So maybe this is something that maybe this is a favor that we always keep in the back of our mind, but like it's not something he cashes in for like a year. And
I'm thinking sometime next year, Roman's
like,
the
oh shit,
champion again,
yeah.
and Punk goes, "Hey, remember that favor? I want to fight you for that belt." And Roman goes, "Okay," and then we get Roman and Punk. Peggy's Philia saying, "Punk just fought over a bracelet. He doesn't need to be fighting over a necklace now."
Hey, listen, he's making his way, and then next
minute
WrestleMania,
earrings. We'll do earrings next.
Nose ring, belly button piercings.
Yeah, belly button. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. Yeah. So Monday Night Raw. I will just gloss through Raw because I do want to talk some AEW and Continental Classic too. But Monday Night Raw, very good. The openings, we talked about the New Day. We don't got to talk about that anymore. But the opening segment that you just referenced with Punk, Sammy, and Seth, very good. Very, very good. Going back to Seth and Punk, I thought what they were saying to each other was excellent. Punk with the line of, "Oh, you said you've been thinking about me for 6 months. Funny, I don't think about you at all. I don't think about you at all. 6 months ago, you had a belt. You had something I wanted. Now, get out of the way, brother."
He did flinch when Seth was ready to mix it up.
He did. But then we saw they start brawling. Sammy and Jay come down to break it up. And then that leads to the interaction between Sammy and Seth, which led to the main event. That was a good interaction between them two as well. Seth questioning Sammy, like, "Hey, I get that Jay is family with Roman, but like, what the hell are you doing?
Standing on business.
What the hell are you doing?"
And then Jay got attacked backstage.
And I wanted to say that. So then Jay gets attacked backstage. Nobody knows who attacked Jay. Some people are saying it was Punk. Some people are saying it was this. Then we have and obviously more things happen on Raw. It was a really good episode of Raw in general. And then we get the main event. Got a good one between Sammy and Seth. Seth gets the victory. And then afterwards in the ring, he goes, "Sammy, I love you, man. I love your heart. But you got to start thinking with this, brother. Because you're not thinking with this." He leaves, and then we see a returning Drew McIntyre show up and Claymore kick Sammy's head off. So now Drew's back. Where does he fit into everything? Clearly, he's going to be doing stuff with Sammy, but like in the if he walks past CM Punk, what happens? What happens? These guys have been trying to kill each other for a year. Like what? Like where does So now Drew's back in the scuffle of things. There's a lot of questions that who did attack Jey Uso? Kimmy, who did attack Jey Uso?
Drew.
That's what I thought. I thought it was Drew.
I thought it was Drew.
Sammy.
Well, I thought it was Drew. I thought it could have been Punk. But now that whatever happened,
what beef does Drew have with Jay?
I think he's just attacking the bloodline. Like the OG bloodline. I think he's upset.
Well, what does Drew have to beef with the bloodline? His beef with Punk.
Drew is even when he was babyface Drew and bad guy Drew, he always hated the bloodline. He always hated the bloodline.
He never won the big one. He challenged Roman multiple times and he wasn't able to get it done. Yeah. So now I think he's just going after everybody until he gets Roman again.
Yeah. That's my thought process, is that he's going after everybody that went. It's kind of like Seth is doing it verbally. But I think Drew is going to be going after everybody that helped Roman, similar to KO on the SmackDown side of things. I just think that's kind of, I think it's Drew. We'll find out. They could swerve us, but I think it was Drew. All right, let's talk. We got a little 15 minutes or so. Let's talk a little AEW. The Continental Classic is in full swing.
My guy's got a point.
He drew a very good match with Okada on Collision last week. If you didn't know, Collision was on at like 4 in the afternoon. Because why?
Because
I mean,
Survivor
Series. I get it, but like, did you see the? Again, we are not ratings people on this show. Did you see it was under 150,000 people watch Collision.
Yeah, I was one of those people.
That is brutal.
They were all watching the Mina Shirakawa virtual signing.
Maybe they were.
Did you also see that the lowest NXT ratings of the year because Eric Bischoff was on? Boom!
Yeah, 100%.
Listen, I'm just saying. He's on right now. He's on right now. He's on MLW right now.
Is he really, Bischoff? Is he making the rounds?
The one shot, the MLW Eric Bischoff one shot is right now on YouTube. So after this, you can watch that. Don't watch it now. But yeah, it's on right now. It's free. It's on YouTube. Eric Bischoff's just all over the place. But anyway, enough about Eric Bischoff. Yeah, AEW.
Continental Classic is underway. Let me pull up the leaderboard. But
yeah, Kyle Fletcher's got 6 points, baby.
Well, last night the show opened. Fantastic opening match. The show opened. Shelton Benjamin versus Kyle Fletcher. Both came in with 3 points. And Kyle Fletcher leading, using a little bit of cheating, used the ropes. He got a victory over Shelton Benjamin, so he is now leading the Blue League with 6 points
for now. Until Daniel,
Well, we'll see. Daniel's only got 1, so he's behind the 8 ball.
He's had one match. He didn't win it. Yes, he tied with the champ.
I agree, but Kyle Fletcher has had 2 matches and he's won both of them.
So I can't give Danny time on Dynamite. I feel like that's like rude.
That's fair.
Doesn't Tony know I'm busy on Saturdays and Fridays, and he puts all of Daniel's matches?
I told you, Tony doesn't.
Time?
Tony's trying to get rid of you.
Very rude.
I know. Scott does throw.
Safe.
Yeah, Hoosier, you did not know. You remember the Hurt Business, bro? They are the Hurt Syndicate in AEW now. They're all over there now.
And MVP was not happy.
MVP, with no, he was yelling at Shelton, and then they just beat the crap out of 3 Jobers. Yeah, they beat the crap out of 3 Jobers that walked by after that. But yeah, Bobby, MVP, Shelton Benjamin, and Bobby Lashley are all in AEW, and they are the Hurt Syndicate, and they are currently feuding with one Swerve Strickland. Very good stuff. But yes, so we saw that. We also saw in the main event of Dynamite last night, it was Brody King and Claudio Castagnoli, who also both had 3 points, and Claudio also cheated to defeat Brody King. So now Claudio has 6 points and is in the lead in the Gold League, and Fletcher with his 6 points is in the league. And again, not everybody's had 2 matches yet, so you got to even it up once everyone's even. But that's where we're at now. We are at Claudio with 6 and Fletcher with 6. We do have Fletcher and Okada next week on Dynamite, which is going to rule. In 2 weeks,
a tie.
They could. In 2 weeks, we have Darby and Will Ospreay, which is a match I'm very interested in. Very interested in. I was talking about it today with Drew. Now that we're halfway through the second round robin, they made the change this year that when it gets to the semifinals, the top person in the gold, instead of facing the other person in the gold, so the top in each is going to face the second place person in the other group. And that's how it's going to go in the semifinals. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So basically 1A in the blue will play 2, whatever. If you had to pick right now, I'll start with Kimmy. Who are your 4 semifinalists? And I know you're biased. You're going to pick Daniel, even though
I think in the blue, we're going to go Kyle Fletcher and Daniel Garcia. And in the gold, I think we're going to go Claudio and Will.
Okay.
Oh, geez.
I feel like I find it to be, it's very hard for me to believe that Okada is not going to be in the final 4. He's the champion. I just find it hard to believe that he's not going to make it to the point where he's defending that title. That's just me personally. I'm not saying I would be upset. I look at these 12 now. Juice Robinson, bless his soul, got injured again, unfortunately.
Commander's in.
So Commander's in. So Commander will be the guy that loses every match he's in. in this. So
I don't know, dude. Juice and Will had a banger on Saturday.
They did, and he did that with a broken leg. He did that with a broken leg.
That kick out at 2.999. I was like, holy shit.
Yep. Yeah, and look at in this Gold League, we're going to be getting Ospreay and Ricochet again. We're going to be getting Ospreay and Brody King. I mean, I want Brody King to win the whole damn thing. I'm just going to be honest with you. I know he's not going to, but I want Brody King to win the whole damn. I love Brody King. That guy should win the whole damn thing, but he's not going to. Pluggo, if you had to pick a 4, you got the same 4 as Kimmy?
I think Okada, not Daniel.
Instead
Garcia.
of Daniel. That's where I lean. I think she's right about the others.
Oh, I got to do something different, Kimmy.
Yeah.
Listen.
Pluggo, wait, I have a question.
Before Daniel won the TNT title, I had picked him to win the Continental Classic. Now he's got the TNT
I think him
title,
having the belt changed it for me.
Okay, but do we remember that Eddie Kingston was champion, put his championship on the line in last year's Continental Classic, and then won the whole thing?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Do we think Okada's going to? Do you think Okada's going to do that?
No, I don't think Okada's winning at all.
But I'm saying Daniel Garcia has got the TNT championship. He's busy. He's not going to win the Continental championship and the TNT title.
No one stepped up to Danny. Are they scared of him?
He's in the Continental Classic.
He's in the Continental.
Yeah, but still, no one wants the TNT title shot.
That's on the Booker.
Yeah, that's on the Booker, man. That's on your pal.
If I'm the Booker of this shit, I don't put Daniel in the Continental Classic. With that title, I let him do
in
something.
The Continental Classic.
Do you know on last night? And I get it, the Continental Classic's going on, but do you know on last night's Dynamite there was no TNT champion, there was no international champion,
to be
there
fair,
was
Daniel's
no
match was
tag
on
team
Rampage,
champion,
which was taped after.
That's fair. But on Dynamite, when you talk about the champions in AEW, Daniel Garcia was not on the show. Private Party was not on the show. The international champion was not on the show. And then
who is the international champion?
I don't even remember at this point.
It's
that's right.
Yeah.
Yes. He wasn't on the show. And I get it, the Continental Classic takes precedent, and I love the I do think the CC has brought a boost back to Dynamite. But like,
oh yeah, the ratings really show that.
Well, I'm not a rate. Listen, I'm not a big ratings guy. I'm sorry. It's my enjoyment of the show.
Do we watch any other program and go, I wonder how the ratings are doing?
Like was I watching Game of Thrones?
Know how the Super Bowl does in ratings.
Well, yeah, but like when I was watching Game of Thrones, I wasn't one of those people that was sitting there going, I wonder how many people.
I hope 14 other people are watching this right now.
You know what I mean? Like I care about my enjoyment of the show.
Listen,
if I enjoy the show, then I don't care if 6 people watched it. I liked it, so whatever.
That's the problem with. And we talked about it with Ring of Honor and all that earlier. It's the problem with the way the show's booked. If you have the mindset of going, I've got a TNT champion, I got to get Daniel Garcia this title, we got a cool moment, but you're going to put him into this Continental Classic, knowing like you could just have a really cool TNT title program with some of the people that aren't in the Continental Classic, but now he's tied up with this, so you're tying that belt up. You've got these 2 titles built up. It just didn't make sense to me. I don't know. I would have put somebody else in the mix and let Daniel Garcia have a cool feud with somebody.
Tony Khan needs help.
I don't disagree.
We've said that for a couple years now. Like he's got to give the pen to somebody and go, Ring of Honor, here's the people you can have. Go do the damn thing. Here's what you can have on Collision. Go do the damn thing. I'm going to obviously oversee everything, but there needs to be more continuity in some of the stuff that he does.
Yeah. Ophelia kind of answered him afterwards, but he said, so when y'all have a second, can you explain the CC? So the CC is
a pointless round robin tournament to kind of end the year.
Pointless.
The winner.
It's like the best. It's like the best of Super Juniors thing over.
Yes.
G1 pointless.
I mean, it takes up TV time that could be building towards your last pay-per-view of the year.
That I won't disagree with. Even though isn't one of the matches going to be the finals, right? The semifinals and the finals are on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, but I feel like that's lazy booking.
Could be.
Sure.
Look that way.
There's an argument to it. I don't think you're wrong.
They didn't last year. Was the finals at the Continent at World's End last year?
It was at World's End.
It was Okada. No, it was Kingston and Moxley, correct?
Yes, because Kingston was on the scrum, I believe, if I remember correctly. No, Kingston wasn't on the scrum. I thought he was going to be, and he wasn't, because I was at the scrum.
Yeah.
That's what Daniel said my name.
Here we go again. But yeah, it's a point-based thing, Hoosier. Like Ophelia just said, it's round robin, so there's 2 different, they call them leagues. There's 2 different groups of 6 guys. They each do round robin, so they face each other. If you win, you get it's like a soccer match kind of. If you win, you get 3 points. If you lose, you get 1 point. If you lose, you get if you tie, you get 1 point or draw. If you lose, you get 0. And like Felia said, there's a couple other rules. There's a 20-minute time limit to each match. And even if you have a manager or partners or you're part of a group, they cannot be at ringside. It is strictly one-on-one, no bullshit. And they just go. And at the end,
it's a cool concept.
Yeah,
Just,
and
like
at
you
the
said,
end-
it just makes no sense.
and then at the end, the top 2 in each group go to the semifinals, and then you get the finals. And then the winner is the new. Now, they don't have to fight, right? The winner of this won't have to fight Okada. Okada will just be
technically the
eliminated
title-
if he's not in it.
Yes. The title is on the line, so whoever wins will be the new Continental Champion.
Got it. So that's what it is. So in the Blue League, just for you, Hoosier, we got Shelton Benjamin, Mark Briscoe, Kyle Fletcher, Daniel Garcia, the Beast Mortos, and Kazuchika Okada. And in the Gold League, we have Darby Allin, Claudio Castagnoli, Brody King, Commander replacing the injured Juice Robinson, Will Ospreay, and Rick O'Shea. So that is the leagues. So
So has no
that is what it is. And now they're even throwing. I've been told that tomorrow night's Rampage is maybe the best Rampage of all time. That's what I've been told.
Because Daniel Garcia's on it. Duh.
Obviously. But I've been told there's
Briscoe and Okada.
Okada's on it. There's Continental Classic matches on it. It's supposed to be, I've heard it's the best. It's easily the best Rampage of the year, but I heard maybe it's one of the best ones ever. So now they're throwing that on there, and I gotta, I don't watch Rampage every week. Now I gotta watch Rampage. God, come on. Anyway.
Such a tough life, dude.
It is a tough life. It is a tough life. Don't they know?
Gotta watch
Don't they
more
know?
wrestling.
There's only so many hours in the week, man.
Yeah, it's true.
You know?
Oh,
Regardless.
I know. Wrestling.
You gotta love it. On Dynamite last night, the last thing I want to talk about before we got to get out of here. How do we feel about them? So last night we saw I'm going to think of a word. I have a good vocabulary, but I'm having a brain fart again.
Soliloquy.
No, not soliloquy. No. We saw I'm not even going to think about it.
Tacos.
No.
Nachos.
We saw the alliance. We saw the alliance of Jay White, Orange Cassidy, and Hangman Adam Page as they all attacked the Death Riders and John Moxley, specifically Moxley, in Crew. Didn't see that kind of coming.
Can I just say that this should have been the initial team to take down the Death Riders? No offense to Danny, Kimmy, and no offense to Private Party, but they were not in the position at that point to be like, yep, they're going to take down this fucking team.
I mean, technically, Moxley, the reason why the Death Riders were originally formed is because Moxley said that he didn't like how the young guys were sitting in the back doing nothing, and they were 3 young guys that stepped up. So technically, storyline-wise, it made sense.
But optically.
But storyline.
But, so yeah, last night we saw Hangman come out to help Jay White, oddly enough. Jay White was getting his ass kicked by Moxley after a tough match with Pac. And Hangman comes out to kind of interrupt, and him and then Orange Cassidy is dressed up as a cameraman, and he starts choking Moxley with the cable wire. It leads to this big brawl, and it all ends with Orange Cassidy hitting the punch on Moxley, which led into Jay White hitting the Blade Runner on Moxley, which then led into the buckshot lariat on Moxley from Hangman. And you had these 3 guys, specifically Hangman and Jay White, who have just spent the last 2 months trying to kill each other and beat each other. You had all 3 of these guys kind of forming an unholy union to try to take out Moxley. The crowd was chanting AEW. I don't know. We haven't heard them speak or anything, but how do we feel about these 3 guys? Because these are 3 top guys to me. This is a formidable group to go take them out, but this is kind of out of nowhere.
Where do those 3 guys work?
AEW?
What does John Moxley currently hate and shit on?
Yeah, AEW.
And they're 3 alpha males who also have world title aspirations, and John Moxley's basically going, I only have this thing for happenstance. I don't even give a shit about it. And these 3 dudes are like, excuse me? I work here too. I heard what you said. I'm just as good as you. Hangman's a former champ.
Correct.
He's going, give me that shit back.
I think this leads to the 4-way at World's End. I think they need something big. The Continental Classic cannot be your only big thing at this pay-per-view. I think that should be a phenomenal match between all four of them. So I think this leads to the Fatal 4-Way at World's
I'd be okay with that. I would be okay with that.
Christian
Scott
cashes in.
I know. I was gonna say this whole time that this was going on, Christian was hanging around the entrance, holding the contract.
You know,
No, he looks
like,
he looks busy with my dude Hook. No,
he was
Listen,
earlier
it
in the
would
night as
actually
well.
be full circle because last year at World's End, earlier in the night, Luchasaurus had won a TNT title opportunity that Christian stole, and he cashed in on Adam Copeland to regain his TNT title.
On this
At World's
day.
End.
Yeah, well, there was a report that came out last week that said that Adam Copeland has started to do some physical things again. Not that there was no. That's not saying he's coming back imminent, but it just said he started doing some physical stuff.
Well, the first
makes me
Dynamite
think-
of the year does take place in his hometown.
Oh, well, I didn't even know that. I was thinking about World's End, but that might be a better fitting thing because I had the opinion that it was going to be a multi-man match.
Very good at reading McGee.
Yep. And I thought that Christian was going to try to cash in on Moxley at World's End, and he would be interrupted by the returning Adam Copeland to screw him out of it.
I mean, that could happen too. I just like
First
fight for the
Dynamite is in his
fallen.
hometown. Yeah, that
in
might make sense. That
hometown.
might make more sense. That might make more sense.
He's on the poster.
Is he on the poster?
Yes, he is.
This is how it should end. World's End. Boom.
No.
Riz
Heavyweight
man.
AEW heavyweight champ, the Riz.
Riz
the Riz
man. The Riz man.
Scott, I think you are correct. I know you're in our chats normally for Firmly AEW. We've been talking about that for a while. I do think that Jack Perry is a likely candidate to join Moxley and crew if they add members. I think he fits in with them quite swimmingly. So, we'll have to see where this goes and stuff because, I mean, Jay White, Hangman, and Orange Cassidy, like kind of an alliance, not like, hey, we like each other alliance, but hey, we need to get rid of these people alliance. I can buy into that. I can buy into that a lot. But all right, we ran a little bit over because we were talking about a little bit of everything tonight.
It was very important stuff. I don't think we missed anything.
No, I don't think we did. Kimmy, I know you got to run because you're going to be on another podcast before your retirement in a month or whenever the hell it is.
December 31st.
There we go. So let the people know, because we're going to be getting off the air, where they can all go see you in a few minutes, and then just where they can see you dropping names of everybody you've ever worked with. And, top. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. Kind of. It's not you because it's true. But you know what I mean. You
can see me over at our local establishment, OLE Podcast, where I will be reviewing Ring of Honor with my lovely co-host, Auntie Collins. We are on the road to Final Battle. As I said earlier, we have 3 official matches announced and a whole bunch of nothing that happened on this episode. If you want to see my written review, you can head over to PW Insider right now to go see that, where I talk about the very extensive learning tree segment on my Ring of Honor television that I absolutely hated.
Hopefully you're doing a New York Minute.
Bro, actually in the it was very funny. So in the promo where Jericho's like, "Oh my god, I want to face someone from New York," they start listing all these New York legends, and they talk about Frank Sinatra. So Brian Keith is like, "If Frank Sinatra was alive, Jericho would kick your ass." And then Jericho just goes, "I always did things my way, Frank. Always did it my way." And I was like, "Oh my god."
See, that's witty. That's witty.
It is. I agree. As you can see by my name, by the end of the month, I will be out of the media game. So you can see me on a bunch of podcasts coming up. My schedule is quite filling up, which is so weird that people actually want to talk to me. I'm like, what is happening? I thought I was more over in the other world than here, but here we are. If you were in the Pittsburgh area, you could see me this weekend at Steel City on Sunday with Adam Cole. He is the last wrestler I'm working with this year, and I'm very depressed about it. But I'm very excited. I haven't seen him in a year. I'm very excited to see him. So go head over to Steel City. It's a 3-day event. SpongeBob is going to be there, and I am so excited.
I'm excited to see you too, Kimmy. Boom.
Oh, he definitely is. I know I already got a text from my boss that he's excited to see me. We got some things to talk about. But yeah, so that's this weekend. You can head over to the Pop Break. Any articles I will be writing will also be over there. I'll probably do World's End predictions. I'm going to do one. I usually do a top 5 of like the top 5 things I've done this year. I'm doing one last love letter to wrestling media, so you can head over to the Pop Break and see all that. I will be at Final Battle. as of right now. I will most likely be at all the Hammerstein shows, so if you're in the New York area, come say hi to me if you're heading to those. And yeah, I think that's it for me. Thanks for you might see me crash here every Thursday of December. You never know. Until JPJ.
I mean, we
say
still have to
can't
do
anymore.
we still have to do a PLE review or preview here.
I know,
we'll
for
do
World's End.
in December for World's End, yeah. So we'll at least have you here with Auntie Collins for the AEW World's End thing. So that'll at least do that. And then you'll realize, you know what? I can at least do this once a month. So and then that will be that. And that'll be the one thing you
talk
do.
to my agent about that one.
Yeah, I have no problem talking to anybody. I got no problem talking to anybody. You give him my number. I'll be like, yeah, she's going to do this twice a month. And that's what's going to happen. She's not talking about anybody. Relax. You're fine. Everyone will live. Everyone will live.
I just want to retire. Let me retire.
Nobody should retire at 23. PLUGGO. Let the people know where they can find you and where they can find us on them social media webs.
Well, you can find me at PLUGGO on all the social media platforms. You can find me every Thursday night with this guy, JPJ, Between Two Beards, at B2Beards on all social media platforms. We got a lot going on in December, so go there. You'll know what we got going on. And then at For Exposure Pod with Blair Pacheco doing For Exposure. We are off this weekend, but you'll see us next weekend. So there you go. That's where I'll be.
All right. Yeah, he already told you. Thursday nights here, 8 p.m. with this guy. Tuesday and Thursday mornings, 10 a.m. right here on this very channel with my man, Drew Nicholas. Firmly love wrestling. Tuesdays we talk WWE. Thursdays we talk AEW. You can follow me at JPJ Loves Gaming on all social media platforms, including Twitch and YouTube and Blue Sky and all that fun stuff. Watch-alongs on my own personal channel. We are watching along to every Raw, every NXT, and every SmackDown. I have my buddy Matt joining me for Raws on Monday, and I got Peggy Ophelia, who you see in our chats all the time. She's joining me for NXT, so those have been a lot of fun. We started those this week. So if you watch wrestling and you like to watch wrestling with friends and people and chat about it, come over to JPJ Loves Gaming, and you can watch all the WWE shows with us. We have a good time. If Kimmy wasn't retiring, I would invite her on for an episode, but, you know. Then be the breaks. Then be the breaks sometimes.
Sometimes
but
you
it is what it
retire
is.
while you're young.
Yeah. You know.
Well, you still got your faculty.
Your whole life ahead of you. You got your whole life ahead of you.
She doesn't want to leave the game. A broken, worn down, can't even get out of bed. She just wants to leave it.
Listen. As someone who is that, I respect it. I respect it. I respect it. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Some of our new friends that were here. People that have been here all the time. Thanks for the chat. The chat was a lot of fun. Thank you to Lawrence for joining us earlier. Sunday brunch gimmick, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He's usually an every week contributor over there with some, Spencer, Zach. There's a floating crew there, but Lawrence is usually, the one that's
see, JPJ is a name dropper too, man.
I'm gonna put over the people that are on my show with me. I'm not gonna, I'm not going to tell you the famous person I was around a couple weeks ago because people don't need to know that. That's just I'm just kidding. It's a joke. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Everyone relax. Breathe. Anyway, we got to get out of here. We appreciate everybody as always. Another fun one tonight. Good job by you guys. Good job by you guys tonight. That was good. That was fun. You guys know the drill by now. You know who's coming on the screen. Our girl.
Sue.
Our girl Sue. Everybody say hi to Sue. We appreciate you all, and we will see you next week. Until then, you know the drill. Peace out.
Hey there, PLUGGO and JPJ. It's Trent's mom, Sue, and I have a bone to pick with you. So, I understand that you guys are being real idiots and spending your entire monthly budget. You've got to be kidding me. This is not the way to be when you're trying to run a business. Your boss, Spencer, is really pissed off at you. I'm pissed off at you. You have some nerve. Get a grip. You have to control yourself. You can't just go out and spend all the money that you're making, you two beards guys. Oh no, this is coming out so stupid. Anyway, behave yourselves. or I'm going to cut you off from watching AEW. You're no longer going to get to know, be able to meet my son. What? Or me. I'm sorry, this is like, I don't know. Anyway, thanks so much for being fans. Watch yourself.